All right, everybody, welcome to Open Minds Open Mic, the place to be on a Friday night. And man, do we have a delight for you tonight. It's going to be fire in the form of Chiina Bloodmire. Chiina is going to be our feature tonight, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be roughly a half hour of dynamite. Again, if you are not familiar with China's work, um, get involved. Like, check in, do your research. There's footage of awesomeness. And with that said, speaking of awesomeness, we got ourselves an awesome open mic list running. And if you would like to be a participant in the open mic, please let me know in the chat. Pester me, throw a rock at my face, whatever. Anyway, with that said, on deck we have Thomas Open Minds, but kicking things off, please give it up for Lantern Carrier. Unmute and take it away when you are ready.
Okay. Thank you, my brother. When I beheld your beauty, my breath dissolved in wings of light. I wanted to pull the moon down, my heart a sacrifice for the bewilderment of thy gaze. It is your love that adorns this garden, fragrantly blossoming in the magic of daffodils. The earth is as hallowed as the celestial heavens, the bee as the honeysuckle on which it feeds. I said, I just want to see you, my sweetheart. You said, what do you need? I said, intensify the profound agony of my longing. You replied, what will you do with this yearning? I said, offer myself at the dust of your feet. You replied, come, my darling. What's holding you back? I said, I just wish to immerse myself in your sweetness. You inquired, what do you need? I said, sweet sacrifice. You said, hush, don't reveal all my secrets. Just know that the eloquent, the downtrodden, the rich and the poverty-stricken, the form and the formless eventually dissolve in me. It is only I, my child. The rose does not blush in its nakedness, neither does the flowing river avoid the sea. Then you left, like a lifelong bride suddenly divorced, triggering the grief of separation. Deep down in the agony of my despair, I have dyed my wounded heart with longing. Carving a path for thy return, I washed my soul with tears, became feverish from day and night rants, developed incoherence from calling out thy name. I am a chained melody, awaiting thy peerless wine to sing unfettered like the unfurling moon, a birthless and deathless symphony. In my sleep and in my waking, my amnesia and hallucinations, I see only you, my sweetheart, only you. In thy absence, this love is a hollow prison, awaiting thy sweetness to be uncaged. Aye, you've returned like a bewildering angel, inundating this temple with kisses, lips incoherent, my tongue mute, the earth massages my feet as I stumble, overwhelmed by an intoxication of love. I hear the enchantments of sparrows and nightingales, those sweet familiar sounds, resonating ecstasies in my core. They soothe me in trance, like unfamiliar whispers, a variety of songbearers wooing my being with delight. A new dawn comes dancing, harmonizing a breath now inconsistent with its natural tempo. Daybreak caresses my face, comforting the heart with its rays. My ego dies as you pour nectar into my being, trickling its way like a fine vintage into the profundity of the soul. Behold, the stars are so beautiful. A thousand rays of incandescent light, majestic, as luminous as the crimson sun. I know naught but the intensity of thy smile, tugging at my heart with its sweetness, the scented breath of your silhouette, fervently kissing and charming my soul. The arrow of true devotion is a one-pointed love hunger, devouring my spirit. Only you, my beloved, all else is meaningless to me. Of what use is the sky's limitless blue? I shall blend in every heart on the day I blend in you. Lantern Carrier, thank you.
And we are underway with tonight. Everybody, please unmute and give it up for Lantern Carrier at this time.
Amazing.
All right now.
That was
Thanks, guys.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Especially the ending.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yes.
Great storyteller.
The one and only Lantern Carrier, everybody. This dude's written
Is that
thousands and
Marion in the
thousands.
background? Oh, she's there, yeah.
Thank you again, Lantern. Keep doing what
Thank
you're
you.
doing. We are better because of it. And with that said, just to give everyone a friendly reminder, I don't think this has ever been addressed before as an open minds rule, but the list never closes. So if you ever change your mind and wants to participate, please let us know in the group chat so we make sure that you get heard and that we are able to, accommodate you and make this happen. So with that said, we're gonna keep this shindig rolling. On deck, we got Amadeus, but step into the plate now. Please give it up for Thomas Open Minds. Unmute and take it away when you are ready.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. I see so many new faces. That's excellent. I'm excited to hear from you all. I'm gonna do two short pieces just because we got so many wonderful poets here to share. I call this one This Morning. I woke up this morning, right on time. No more morning, just vibrant chimes, heavenly bells resonating in my skull. I took a deep breath in and stood tall. Reach towards the sky, grateful for all my aches and pains simply melted away. What a glorious day, I said to myself, grateful for my health and my life. My wife smiled and gave me a kiss, swimming in pure bliss. I started to frolic and skip, did a little twist, ending up outside, the sun in my eyes, the warmth matched my pride. Head held high, mind at ease. Whispers from the trees told me to believe I could do anything. This must be a dream. Am I awake? Is this fate? Is my life this great? If so, I accept this blessing. No more stressing, no grief. Such a relief. Finally at peace, a place my demons can't reach. Did I breach into a new reality? Better check the gravity. Falling backwards, I close my eyes. As my body crashes down, I realize this must be real life. I think I just woke up, still high. And then I got this one if it'll open. Okay. This one I call Take a Walk with Me. I have a favor to ask. I will repay it by the time this poem has passed. All you need to do is close your eyes, open your mind, and think of a time you were the happiest you've ever been. Now try to visualize the place you were in, the feeling of the smile on your face, the taste of the air. Be aware of the smell swirling into your nose. Listen for the sounds as they grow louder, surrounding you. Tune into the vibes you felt. Whether you were alone or not, I ask you to pick a spot in this memory to go sit by yourself. Breathe in slowly, knowing this place you can always return to. Are you beginning to drift into the spirit of feeling comforted, uplifted? Know that you are gifted, you are loved, you are filled with a joy from above. This place in your mind is always there for you to find. Now, open your eyes and let that radiant smile shine. Peace. Thanks, y'all.
Right on.
Yeah.
And legit, right on. Everybody give it up for Thomas Open Minds at this time.
Woo!
Awesome. That made me smile.
Drama! Yeah!
Yeah.
Woo!
Oh,
All right. Yes.
Kick ass, my dude. And with that
Okay, yes.
said, just want to take this time again to thank everybody for joining in and tuning in to Open Minds Open Mic tonight. And we got ourselves a hell of a show lined up. Seriously, not too far from now, we'll be having China Bloodmire feature, but got a couple of poets to go first. With that said, on deck we got the rose that stay red. But stepping up to the plate now, please give it up for Amadeus. Unmute and take it away when you are ready.
Thank you very much, Dre. Um, Tonight I'll be performing two sonnets under my upcoming book, Breaking Traditions, and this is from the chapter The Underdog. So I will be posting the format or the structure of the Amadisian sonnet. So this is Amadisian sonnet number 8. Poet, it is a new day, a new beginning. I'm happy for you. You have reached number 8. I'm glad because you are in a steady state. Keep this up, poet. You will reach deeper meanings. You are still an underdog. Do not get cocky. Keep moving forward like this character, Rocky. Stay determined and never lose sight of your goal. Again, keep progressing, but do not lose your soul. Arrogance creeps up when there is too much learning. Learn this now, my poet, before it is too late. Underdog, not all can see this. You are lucky. Some learn this when it is too late, like hitting a wall. Was it ignorance or pride? Only they would know. Either way, it never ends well. That is clear though. In the end, both worlds would just lead you to deep woe. So that is Amadisian sonnet number 8. And the second one would be the number 9. So Amadisian sonnet number 9. Get up, poet. It is that time to move forward. It is with great honor you have reached number 9. I always hope your work ages well like fine wine. Therefore, get up, poet. Keep your mind straight forward. One thing is clear to me. Number 9 is special. This is a sign to break what is traditional. My friend, do not be like those by the book people. They are tedious and they are not flexible. They lack creativity and some are cowards. Do not be like those who just settle what is quote unquote fine. Underdog, learn to enhance the art essentials. Do not follow those sophies. They are terrible. Poet, if they do not like your work, so be it. I will tell you, those sophies lack the proper wit. Times are changing, my friend. Therefore, adapt and grit. Thank you. That's Amadisha number 9. And Thomas, with the permission, would it be okay to share screen? I would like to present something.
Yeah, Jay or Kat, can you make him co-host quickly so you can?
Thank you very much. So before I present something, I'd like to share this particular form of poetry. I presented this last week, and I'd like to welcome you guys once again. And this is called quantum poetry. So this is a new form of quantum poetry specifically dedicated to Mark Fishburne, actually. And it's a very classic quantum poetry because the shape that I chose is a tesseract. And tesseract is a classic fourth dimensional shape. And the reason I chose this for Mark, it's because I wanted him and everyone here right now to show that even at old age, you can still create new things. You can still reach greater heights. You can still be open for new things, basically. And for those who don't know what a quantum poetry, it's it's not like your traditional poem that relays a singular message. The traditional poem, or I mean, the quantum poem relays multiple messages, or it uses at least different forms of poetry. So there is a haiku, and there's a traditional form of poetry here, and there is an acrostic poem, and there is a visual poem as well. Uh, the third one would be there's a visual aestheticity, and lastly, it has at least three different sets of dimensions. So, okay, so there we go. Anyway, the specific quantum poetry here is dedicated to Mark Fishburne. And for those who don't know the effects of the quantum poetry, it's like consciously you haven't picked up all the messages yet, but subconsciously you already did. And one day it will just manifest through your thinking, your words, your actions, because it's a visual spell, quote unquote. Once again, this is specific for Fishbine, and it may have certain effects on others, but the only person who will receive the full power of this is him, because it is designed for him. So anyway, thank you for giving me the opportunity to share quantum poetry to everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Amadeus. Everybody, please unmute and give it up for Amadeus at this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
I think
Thank
that's really neat.
you.
And thank you for my quantum
That's
poem, man. I'm
really
still
yes.
deciphering all of it and pulling in all the message from it. It's so intricate, and what you're doing with that, I think, is amazing, man. Like,
Mhm.
Thomas, if it's okay, if you could, this is just like a small favor. If any of you have any connection with Mark, feel free to PM this and feel free to show this to him. So thank you very
we'll
much.
do.
With that said, thank you again. Um, just to give everyone a quick reminder, for anyone who hasn't signed up for the open mic yet, just let you know there's still plenty of room. The list doesn't close, so like I said, if you feel like you want to spit later on, just let me know. With that said, we got two more poets before the feature. On deck, we got Angel Kim. But stepping up to the plate now, Thomas, I think we do something for new people here. Is that right?
Of course, you guys know what to do. I would ask if everyone can just unmute themselves and give a big open mind, open heart, open arms welcome to the rose that stay red.
Woo!
Welcome. We love
Talk
you.
about it.
Boom.
Welcome,
Yeah.
Talk
welcome.
about
Love you,
it.
Queen.
Yeah.
Talk about
Mm.
it.
Thank you. I don't know how to use this, so he has to unmute me. But thank y'all so much. Can I begin?
Oh, you are in. We heard you.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you the name of my poem first. It's called I Had to Lose Self in Order to Gain God. I do something before I speak my poem name, so I just want to tell you that before. I'll begin. Let me unwind your mind and take you out of the box that you put yourself in. Once awakened, you will move as such, and your mind will never sleep again. Honestly, I had to lose self in order to gain God. On this road to recovery, I had to learn to let God cover me. Put myself aside because he doesn't need my help when helping me. Truth is, my outside didn't match my inside. Things weren't adding. I guess you can say math wasn't math. But these are signs that he covered me, wrapped his arms around me, and let his love smother me. See, sometimes the rain felt like it wouldn't stop. It was constant. Drip, drip, drop. Drip, drip, drop. Drip, drip, drop. Death had knocked on my door plenty of times. I used to ask God why he didn't pull my time card. Clocking into work began to be too hard. Just showing up alone began to feel like my body was on earth, but my soul was gone. See, my mind was running in circles. I just wanted to become whole. Truth is, my flaws were starting to show on the outside now. I wasn't as happy as the smile I pretended to wear, and honestly, there wasn't nothing I can do about it. When the things I kept hidden began to be a playground for the devil to send his demons to play around, jumping and climbing from bad memory to bad memory, never seemed good. Keeping painful thoughts in my head to keep my mind from doing good, so that my heart never had time to heal. And each generation that came from me, the same history will repeat the same history. But I told God that that generational curse end with me, and I will no longer know defeat or feel incomplete. Now, I know y'all heard that saying, you reap what you sow. Well, honestly, I thought it didn't apply to me because I treated people how I wanted to be treated, but never got much of that in return. So I thought what I got was mine that I earned. But one day I got tired and I had to go to God. For without him, I could not last. And he's the only one to erase the pain from my past. See, we all must learn this valuable lesson. Everything we go through is to show us, but to teach others the lesson. So if you have a testimony, you must say something. You never know who you're helping. Why not be God's secret weapon? Tells what he's doing, even if you wouldn't call it a blessing. Him breathing breath in your body is enough to be the first lesson. Don't let him take it in order for you to get the message. So love for no reason, because we really do need each other. Learn to call just to say hello or to stop by and watch a TV show. Oh, yes, we know life be lifing, but there's someone out there suffering in silence. So take a few moments out of your day to tell someone you love them. You never know. It could be the first time you heard it, or it could be the last. We really don't know each other's life journeys past. You could be here today and gone before night passed. So don't ever stop fighting for life, because ever after recovery was over and everyone disappeared, God taught me that he was always near and how to love myself with every flaw that he allowed. So who don't love me never cross my mind anymore, because if you do or don't, I still love you more, because on this road to recovery, I discovered me.
Wow. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yo,
Everybody, please
yo,
give it up for the rose
I
that
needed that. Thank
is
you.
red.
welcome
Yes.
home. That was
That is my
amazing.
baby.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Don't even worry
And
about the
Thank
mute
I
you.
love
unmute.
you, and
Like
there's
we
nothing
got
you can do
that.
about it.
Did that, my man.
Thank
That's
you. I wasn't even going to
amazing.
say anything. I was coming in here just to watch, but thank you for
Oh, I'm
letting me
so
feel
glad you
loved.
shared.
Let them use you.
I'm so glad you shared. Yeah, that was amazing. That was such a powerful piece, man. Such an integral piece for, the growth of humanity, man. Like, that was great.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just want to encourage you and everybody else here to please utilize the meeting chat to your fullest advantage.
And
Promote,
post
promote.
social
Get your
everything.
social media out there. Get your links out there. We want to help promote and share and follow you because we want to create community and we want to see other creatives like ourselves grow. And with
Okay.
that said, we appreciate you coming in here and basically welcome home. Legit. That was amazing. One more time, give it for the rows
Thank
that
you.
stay red, everybody.
Yeah.
Daisy, we love you.
We love
I
you.
love
Thank you.
y'all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tarzu. Thank you. I love y'all. You have to mute me.
I got you. Just give me one moment. I'm just adding another name to the list. Speaking of Torazu, we're going to be hearing from Torazu later on. So stay tuned for that. Give me one sec. Yeah, there's there's a nice heaping list at the after the feature. But with that said, on deck we got Chiina Bloodmire. But stepping up to the plate now, please give it up for Angel Kim. Unmute and take it away when you are ready.
Come on now.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing? I just gotta say, to the spirit that just left, the soul that just left, the mic. I don't know how you know, but yeah, your poem went with mine, and yeah, so it was meant for you to be on this mic tonight. So thank you, and yeah, you blessed us with that. I'm Angel Kim, as y'all know. And if you don't, it's all right. You'll know me soon enough. I'm gonna do this poem, and it's called "What's in the Box." You keep asking me what's in the box. Like you got the right to pry open my pieces, put labels on my corners, tape it up with expectations and assumptions, like you can steal my shine with cardboard and closed minds. You want me to fit neatly inside perimeters, tucked away in tidy lines of should be's, oughta be's, will be's. But I'm not here to satisfy your schemes of smallness. In your eyes, sorry, my grandbaby's here. In your eyes, I'm fragile. Something needing bubble wrap and boundaries, fickle thing to be handled with caution, as if my spirit could shatter under weight of your jealousy. Look closer. No, look with your eyes wide open. I'm not the breakable one here. I'm fire that scorches, light that spills over edges, blaze that doesn't wait for permission to burn. What's in the box? Nothing that can contain me. Not your fears, not your prejudice, not your envy, not your delusions. You're all trying to stack bricks around my blessings, thinking you can build walls high enough to block what's been promised to me by God. How dare you? You can't box in glory, can't fence in favor dripping from my skin like golden honey. My flow won't be stopped by your small minded borders. You want me in hiding. You want me hiding in shadows, tucked away in corners, unseen, unheard. But that's not me. I'm here in full bloom, spreading roots so deep even your walls crack, trying to hold me. What's in the box, you ask? Never realizing that box was never meant for me. I was born to overflow, to break open barriers, to bless spaces that never expected my shine. So you can keep your box. I don't care how pretty the bow used. It doesn't draw me in. I'm gonna walk away with my head held high, carrying glow that you can't dim, truth you can't deny. I remained unboxed and unstoppable. You know why? Because I'm a child of God. How about you?
Boom. And there's peace. Everybody unmute and give it up for Angel Kim at this time. Woo!
Yeah, hey,
Boom.
Kim.
Yeah.
Yes.
Woo.
Amazing.
Yes.
So,
The box.
always.
Mm. I always dig how Angel's poetry sounds. Dare I say, angelic. We appreciate you, Angel, and all that you do. And with that said,
Thank you. And sorry for all the background noise.
oh
Everybody
no,
wanted
you're
to come
fine.
out their rooms at the same time. I was like, wait.
All is good. All is good. And with that said, it's gonna get real good now. Cause at this time, it's feature time here on Open Minds, Open Mic. And this week we have it in the form of one China Bloodmire. That's right, it's China with two eyes, the better to see you with. Bloodmire, like vampire, a hybrid witch. She's a Queens born wordsmith, thriving in gritty life mixed with magical shit. Her voice is urban and graffiti, a little deep, storytelling with the rhythm of city streets. Oh my God, it is my honor, privilege, and distinction to bring forth to the virtual stage at this time the one and only China Bloodmire. Unmute, take it away when you are ready.
Oh man. First of all, good evening, everyone. Hi, y'all. See, I was gonna say that. But then you said it, so now I don't gotta say that. Hi, babies. Hi. Oh my God. Y'all got me blushing. There's so many of y'all in here. I'm gonna run and hide in a corner after this. I need y'all to know that. I'm gonna ugly cry in the corner and be like, later on. So, uh, see my cat. You see anybody talking to you? Okay, so this set, once I was told that I had at least 30 minutes, this entire set made me happy because I decided to curate this as evilly as possible. And I say that because earlier this year, someone said to me that my spoken word artistry is more than the stories that I write. And I looked at this person and I thought they was like, I was like, what kind of shit you smoke? Because that's crazy. Because if you didn't know, the Bloodmires inspire my spoken word artistry. Like, get out of here. Like, if you know me, for the majority of the people in here, I've been writing about the Bloodmires for over, since they've been here since 3313 BCE. Go, 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 Roman. So that's the story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay. So we're gonna kick it off with this piece right here. So I said all that to say tonight y'all are going to get short stories from me. Y'all are going to get poetry from me. Y'all are going to get some chapters from my debut novel that is coming out November of 2025. Y'all are gonna get China Bloodmire and her family. You feel me? Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. I don't want no parts. Talk about anyway. So this first piece is called Death Exchange. Woo. Death. They say it comes in three. And this week, that's what happened to me. A fear I've had since I was young, and come to think of it, I don't know where it came from. The amount of times I fantasized about what it's like to no longer breathe, for ages, these thoughts really haunted me. Death is more lethal than katana unsheathed. Unmask and bite you like Melina's teeth, taking you out quicker than arrows carried by Neef. I don't know when it began, but I devised a permanent plan to live on the tongue of man. In the only way I've ever known, facing books, keeping my head real low. Learn about using my enemy's blood and bones to leave my words in tomes, penmanship engraved in stone. So I backed out Eartha's kit, had to become real strict, unbury the back of my closets, addressed and undressed a lot of shit, allowed all parts of me to coexist, called my spiritual team for the assist, cause they stay handling that 5D shit. For all eternity, like Madame Zeroni, I listened to my intuition submissively, popped out two babies and again maternally, then worked on me internally. United my inner diversities. Ooh, smoked bitches that had the audacity, bust in Pandora's box and gave birth to me, a Gemini monstrosity. that was finally granted immortality. And that's peace. Sorry, y'all. That piece always makes me feel crazy because when I wrote that, I did actually lose 3 family members in a span of, I believe, a week and a half. And that right there, that piece, obviously it's in my chest. Y'all feel it? I feel it. It's in the back of my neck. So that's that piece right there. Whew. So for those of you that are new to me, once again, like I said, I am working on a novel, and I have been. It's a novel series. There's probably about 7 books in here. 7 books in the series, as well as a whole bunch of other side worlds and things that are there. I've created and cultivated my own language, my own mythical country, my own agriculture. It's a whole everything. So I'm going to share the book blurb with y'all. Thank you. I'm going to share the book blurb with y'all. You know, the book blurb is what's on the back of the book when you go into the bookstore or whatever, and you be in there and then you pick it up and you be like, what does it say? So this is, like I said, debuting in November of 2025. I am excited because I've been writing about them, like I said, since I was 11 years old. So to be able to share this, I'm in the corner like, you know, running around. I love you more. All right. A stroll in the forest, a heated argument, a severed head. Chiina is from a family that has powerful magic, but not even they can save her. Even after moving to New Orleans, she's still haunted by nightmares, death, and a curse that broke her family. Fixing it and repairing the damage now seems impossible, especially when her family's secret is a breath away from being exposed. Enemies come crawling out of the woodwork, murder veils everything in the city, and unshakable curses spell death. China must do everything she can to remove this root before it ruins her, while fending off threats she never thought she would have faced. The only problem is no one has seen a curse like this before, and she's running out of time. And what caused all of this? A stroll in the forest, a heated argument, and a severed head. Ooh, so I'm gonna be so emotional, y'all. I need y'all to know that. But I don't know how long this chapter is, but I would like to share a chapter from my novel. It is called Boogie in the Bayou. So yeah, somebody in here knows about this chapter. She got mad excited. She knows about this chapter because she was there when I wrote this shit back in what was like 2018, 2019. I'm sorry, like this shit old. So this is how you know we've been working. We've been working. So Saji's eyes skimmed across the beach-like area they had been left at. A carriage in the distance. The rower stood off to the side of the boat, allowing the family to get situated. China kicked her shoes off, hoisted her skirt higher, and dug her toes into the sand. A soft, audible moan leaving her. She glanced down, her eyes glancing over the gritty substance. She whispered something inaudible just before biting her lip. I missed you. She chuckled lightly. Suddenly she felt foolish. I'm talking to the damn sand. Aiden's shoes crunched the sand under him, a sigh of relief as his feet touched the ground. China hopped on one leg in his direction, propping herself against him. She tugged her shoe back on. You all right? She inquired. I'm just happy to be off that forsaken thing. She nodded in agreement. Her and Kaname exchanged glares as he walked past them. The 3 siblings trudged behind Saji and the rower as he guided them towards a familiar face. A tall gentleman was in the middle of pulling on a suit jacket, and China's eyes narrowed. Alec? Kaname smiled wide at his old friend, greeting him with a large embrace. Her brother's voice confirmed her inner thoughts. Long time. Alec nodded in agreement, his smile wide as well, almost childlike. You look good, Kaname chuckled. When don't I ever? He cockily rubbed at his chin before the 2 burst into laughter. Alec Montague had caramel-complexioned skin and hazel eyes. Alec looked to weigh well over 180 pounds. The sunburned light brown fro he used to sport was now slicked back, not a kink in sight. His accent had a southern drawl to it, and the more she searched his face as he greeted her brothers, she noted how good he looked. You eating good, Kaname noted, and Alec laughed, rubbing his stomach. I'll be eating better now that y'all are here. You greedy motherfucker, Kaname continued. Yes, sir, Alec mumbled while laughing along. Aiden was next, shaking his hand, then pulling him into a hug as well. It's been about, 60 years? Aiden spoke softly. You hardly visited. The rower moved past the family, making sure not to interrupt any conversation. He made his way to the front of the carriage and started tending to the horses. Long time no see. Both Saji and Alec exchanged nods and small smiles that seemed to be as affectionate as they would get. It was then that Alec's honeyed eyes rested on Chiina, his breath getting caught in his throat. Their eyes met and his face flushed instantly. Not being able to hold his composure, he let his eyes fall to the side of her. His smile was innocent as he held back a laugh. Eh. She pouted, a knowing glimmer of playfulness in her eyes. He reached out to grab her hand, bowing his head to her fully. Avuna, he spoke in their native tongue. She swallowed hard as he lifted her hand ever so lightly and kissed her knuckles. Alec, she replied back with a large smile. I've missed y'all. Oh, stop it. She waved him off. You're even more beautiful than I remember. She shifted from her right foot to her left, suddenly feeling hot. China's eyes danced over Alec's body. His arms were defined in the jacket. I'm sure taking a photograph would last longer, he teased. He had caught her. It wouldn't do your backside any justice. She teased right back. Straightforward as always, miss. Alec laughed, and Kaname gagged, making an audible sound behind the two. Not even a millisecond passed, and Saji hit him in the chest lightly. Oh, horses? Saji asked, changing the subject, and Alec sucked his teeth. I wasn't bringing my damn car out here. He laughed as he looked around him. Ain't shit out here. He threw his arms up. Ooh, I want a car, Kaname interjected, and he and Aiden piled into the carriage first. Only real men drive, Alec turned as he called out to Kaname. Where are we headed anyway? Saji continued to question, side-eyeing Kaname. I figured I'd put y'all up in Treme. It's a nice spot. Saji nodded as he helped Chiina into the carriage before he and Alec got in behind her. Alex stomped his foot on the floor. Alex stomped his foot on the carriage's wooden floor, and with that, they were off. As time passed, Chiina zoned out, their argument from earlier still lingering in her thoughts. Alec and her brothers caught up and joked about old times. Alec had known about the families before he had settled in New Orleans. Hell, before he had stepped foot in America. How y'all been? Alec asked, more to Chiina. Decent, she answered stiffly, though with a small smile. She glanced over at Saji, who had been staring out of a scratched window. Chiina didn't have a recollection of what happened after they left Jamaica. Anytime she brought it up, Saji would ask her to rest, though he and Aiden did admit to keeping her sedated for weeks to fix her coughing fits. When last y'all fed? Alex suddenly asked, in the carriage quieting, fully pulling Chiina from her thoughts. The food on the ship wasn't satisfying, was it? Aiden pulled on his collar. He was busy undoing the top button. Not at all, Kaname complained. We had deer and Alec cut Aiden off. I mean something fresh. I'm sure Chai needs something fresh. Fuck, it's been weeks. Saji groaned out of frustration and Alec's eyes widened. Beg your pardon? I'd have had to tuck a man overboard or something, he laughed. Well, we're gonna have to fix that. Alec's smile grew wide. We in the middle of nowhere, Kaname childishly reminded him as he looked out of the carriage window as well. That ain't necessarily a bad thing, Alex smiled back, a thought clicking in his head. But we don't know if shit's around here. Kaname raised a brow. Trust, there's always something happening out here, Alec turned back to Saji. We planning, but what about the driver? Aiden asked, seeming to be the only one out of the family that had sense, the carriage getting quiet again for only a split second. Yeah, what about the... And Alec sucked his teeth. He's cool, his name's Kenton. I turned him years ago, Alec continued. They sat in silence for a few moments. It seemed their minds were made up. Good. Alex stomped on the carriage floor again, and the horses came to an abrupt halt. Chiina, Saji began speaking. Chiina what? Kaname smirked as she gave them all a smug look. How about you try doing something? Just a little something, he said softly, his voice almost encouraging. She took a deep breath in and cut her eyes. Give me a moment. She shifted in her seat slightly. Chiina took a few deep breaths to calm herself. Her lips began moving visibly, but there was no sound, and at first she felt off and weak. She took one last breath before closing her eyes, a quiet chant coming from her. Uve lam pen tu una. She repeated this 3 times before she suddenly stopped, her breath gone, head cocked back, eyes glazed over and white. As moments passed, the intricate markings that seemed to branch off of her glowed intensely. The glow moved up her wrists, elbows, and then finally made its way to her chest. Suddenly her body froze and her breathing as she breathed in her surroundings. China's senses darted to the woods not far from the carriage rested. It was as if there was a picture playing in her mind. She was passing various animals, a creek, and finally halted at a small cottage. Suddenly, she was snapped back into the carriage, her back and shoulders cracking as she hunched forward. China's vision was slightly blurred as her breathing returned to normal. Her chest rising and falling rapidly, it took her a few seconds to get her bearings since she hadn't done any casting in months. She swallowed hard as her brothers shuffled out of the carriage, Saji staying behind to check on her. "How many?" he asked, as China stepped out. "About 9," she groaned. "That sounds like more than enough." Aiden bit at his bottom lip. They began walking away from the road's path and towards the forest. "Ooh, wait, wait." Kaname stopped not far from the opening of the forest and he looked around them. The cottage wasn't far in. "What?" China inquired weakly. Kaname crouched down, gently pushing his hands into the forest floor. He too closed his eyes for a slight moment. Second passed and Aiden was becoming more and more impatient. Kaname began chanting softly, his hands being pushed deeply and further into the ground. The more he focused, the more the same glowing came from under his dark skin, illuminating a different arrangement of deep purple markings. "Dumare vel manlos," he repeated until silence overtook the forest around them. Soon the ground began vibrating softly, nearby animals responding to it in different ways. Many of them darted away or flew off from the area. No wind blew, no owls flew, and not a soul made a sound in the surrounding area. A silencing Itaga? China thought to herself with a small smile. He may have been vexing most times, but he definitely came in handy. Finally, Kaname stood up, casually dusting his hand off to remove any excess dirt. "Hell, if we're gonna have some fun tonight, we might as well do it the right way," he laughed, and Aiden smirked. "Where'd you learn that?" he inquired. "I've come to find out that women in Jamaica are loud, sometimes too loud," he said smoothly. Placing his hands behind his head, he began walking ahead of them. China steadied herself, skipping across the rocks in a stream not too far ahead, as the men up front carried on conversation. Suddenly, she stopped and Saji looked back. "What happened?" She looked towards the sky and her siblings followed suit. A sheer white strand could be seen flowing past the leaves and towards the tops of the trees. "They in there dying." Her voice was filled with doubt. The essence of these people were drifting away. Another white strand flew past them. 6 now. China glanced behind her as she watched the men fade into the trees surrounding them. The cottage was fully made of wood. It seemed at some point a family had lived there due to childlike markings on the outside. It was covered in various roots at the bottoms, and trees had become one with it. China made a fist and knocked on the heavy wooden door 3 times. Seconds passed, and she heard quick shuffling and whispers just before the door was opened. She looked up and examined his face, and just as quickly her forehead was mushed with a gun. He glanced around her, his extremely large body casting a shadow over her tiny frame. "Well, who that is?" She heard another voice call from behind him, her left eye twitching. "Some bitch." China's right hand reached out to his gut, and her nails jaggedly cut through his shabby clothing, piercing his skin. Sawing across the base of his stomach, she tore through his intestines without much strength being used. The gun rested on her shoulder as her small frame kept him propped up. Upon impact, he let out a shot from the gun and a groan, blood pooling out of his mouth. She shifted from her shoulder, shrugging his body backward into the cabin. Her fingers glided over one another as she studied the red liquid. China's lips wrapped around her thumb and she sighed lightly, her eyes closing. The light purple glow radiating brighter under her skin. China tugged at her skirt, bringing the end upwards and used its underside to wipe the blood from the back of her hands. She stepped into the home, revealing herself fully to the other men in the spacious room, her small smile revealing her fangs. Her brother stepping into the cabin behind her. "The fuck is that?" one of the men asked. "Some bitch," she said dryly, shaking her head as she glanced up at one of the men who had pissed himself just as he made eye contact with her. China's gaze fell to one of the 5 women in the cabin. Upon first sight, they seemed to appear to have been viciously beaten. With a wave of her hand, the cabin door instantly slammed loud and hard. "You gotta work on greeting women properly next time in your life." Saji smirked, and China swiftly jumped forward, tackling one of the men nearest her, sinking her fangs into his neck with ease. One of the other blockheads let off a shot towards Saji, grazing his shoulder. Gurgled screams escaped him as Saji forced his nails into his throat, drinking from him easily. Another man grunted as his back hit up against the cabin wall. Aiden gripped his shoulder, forcing his head to the side. A satisfying snap could be heard, just before he sank his fangs into him as well. Aiden took pleasure in the much-needed meal, and he wasn't here for the grotesque play like his siblings. Kaname, on the other hand, was almost like a cat. He caught one man's eye, and for some reason he just couldn't look away. It was as if he was captivated by Kaname, and no matter how much he shook with fear, he couldn't be released. The closer he got, the more the man seemed closer to passing out. I want you awake for this, Kaname whispered into his ear, his voice deep and almost melodic. Alec was on standby, watching the carnivorous family take the lives of the men in the cottage without a care in the world. His steps were loud as he scoped out the other rooms, finding a woman alive in the corner. He walked towards her, but when she made no attempt to get away from him, he knew something was off. Just as he had knelt down in front of her, he noticed that the girl's breathing had just about stopped. Her eyes were wide and frozen, watching the scene play out in front of her. There was almost no life left. It seemed as if she was dying from possibly a heart attack. And without a second thought, Alec grabbed her and pulled her close, taking in her scent. He analyzed her once more, pulling her blonde hair to the side and holding it tightly. He sank his fangs into her neck with ease, sucking whatever life force was left of her. Death has arrived, and it was here to stay. That is the end of that chapter. Damn, that was longer than what I thought it was. That was longer than what the fuck I thought it was. I apologize. I apologize, y'all. Y'all could unmute after that because we're gonna get into poetry. Because oh my god, I'm gonna let y'all unmute. Jesus Christ.
Yo,
Go,
I love
child.
that scene.
Yes,
Like the
ma'am.
I got to see
descriptors
all of
you
that. That
use,
was
like,
awesome.
Hey, look,
oh, the
Miss
picture
Lighty.
you painted on that one. Woo.
Hey, look, Miss Lighty.
Ooh,
You fire as fuck.
thank you.
And you better not ever put that pen down.
Indeed. Hey,
Right.
and then I hope you can top that.
Ooh,
I know. My heart can't take it topping.
Can you
listen,
top that?
that was
Oh,
just
yeah.
a
That's just a chapter.
that was just one chapter out of a 40. I think it's like 46 chapters in book one.
I didn't ask
You
you
know,
that. I said, can you top that?
can I top that? Yeah, we got this next piece right here called Let's Play.
Indeed. So let's play.
Indeed.
Let's
Oh,
get
right.
You know who that is? I'm gonna fuck with you all night. Hey, I had to take a call, but I love you though. Let's rock. Let's rock
And
out.
Awesome.
Indeed.
I appreciate y'all. Thank you for the feedback, obviously. And yeah,
that
My
was
bad to cut you
amazing.
off, but I just had a whole visual movie playing while you was reading that in my mind's eye.
I
That
think we was
part.
all watching the same movie, yo. Like, shit, like you're so descriptive with it. It's like all of us. I bet you had the same image in mind. Like that was dope.
I want that
I'm
book.
excited to get the series. Yeah, when November
I want that
25, you said?
book.
yes, November
So
2025.
like a
But
year.
the first 10 chapters are available on my Patreon. So for
Oh,
anybody,
sign up to the
for any,
Patreon. Get to the
so
chapters.
you
Get
know
it.
or whatever. Um,
Get it.
so the
And what else you
pieces
got
that I'm
going
going
on
to
coming up this on the 24th too?
yeah, the
Yeah,
Go for
go for
Blood is coming
good.
up. That's what I was going to talk about. Go for Blood after these pieces because it sounds like I'm going for blood in these pieces.
All right, bet. All right.
It's not,
Ooh,
you know what I mean?
I'll keep my
We'll
mouth.
make mention of that after the feature, but now it is time to get back to
Right?
the feature.
Oh, gonna want.
Ooh, okay. Like I said, this piece is called Let's Play. Um, I feel the cold earth beneath my bare feet, heels tapping, a pulse that matches the beat of your heart as I drag you closer to me. My hands caress the goosebumps on your skin, so warm, so soft, yet fear seeps in. The sense of dread clings to you like a vice, and it feels good to be here again. As I prepare to taste you, I whisper, I win. I hear your breath hitch, shallow and quick. Each inhale betrays your panic. Thick, swearing this was all a trick. Sweat and bullets, your pulse is frantic. A melody, and I want to dance to it. You thought you could run. I bet you feel stupid. Your eyes wide, reflecting the night, glassy pools that glimmer with fright. In them, I catch a glimpse of your soul. Hold on tight. Fragile thing, I'm not sorry I lost control tonight. You promised if I caught you, I could savor you, right? And with no time to spare, you're up against the tree. I mean, I gave you till the count of 3. Now my fangs are in your throat on the side of the capillary. It's okay to struggle to be free, I say, as your essence flows into me. So rich and so sweet, the taste of power floods my tongue. As I drink in the terror, did I mention this shit is real fun? And that's that piece. So the next piece, as y'all can see, mythical fiction and urban literature is what the fuck I do or whatever. So the next piece that we're going to get into is called Winter Killing for fictional purposes. I remember a night when the moon hung low, its silver light cast in shadows that seemed to grow. My heels clicked on cobbled streets, no snow. Each step I took fueled by a darkened goal. Skin silky smooth, December of 1928, fur on my shoulders, dress made of sequin and lace. I was seeking a victim, a soul to erase. And there he was, right time, right place. With the sharpness of a pen tip, fangs slipped with ease as I tore into him. Through flesh and bone, blood pools, I grinned. The life in his eyes flickered, then dimmed, a soul extinguished, a fate grinned. The taste of blood was fresh on my tongue from a motherfucker whose life I had just wrung. His final breath, a muffled groan. I just told y'all I won. Yeah, he tried to flee, but there's no real escape when you're hunted by me. And that's peace. So, Jesus. I wanted to throw something sexual in here for y'all because I like being nasty. And I know y'all like nasty stuff. So I'm gonna skip because I had 4 chapters planned, but because that one I ain't know that was gonna be that long or whatever. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna read the little nasty snippet before we get into the nasty stuff. So we gonna make it nasty. Just so y'all know, this particular situation or whatever is a heterosexual situation between 2 other characters. Book 1 has 22 characters. I'll have y'all know that. So it's time to get nasty or whatever. So yeah, there's 22 characters in book 1. All right. So Alex's voice could be heard from a well-lit room. The familiar creaking of a bed followed his muffled moans. She grabbed at his wrist, her moans growing louder with each thrust. Slow down, baby. She was practically pleading with him. He unloosened himself from her grip, grabbing her wrist instead. He pulled her up to his chest, his huffs of air blowing her hair out of his face. His thrusting never slowed down as he pressed her back firmly against his. Fuck, I missed this. His right arm tightly holding her waist as his left hand grabbed at her jumping titties in his peripheral. Her small hands clenched the pillow under her as she attempted to bite her lip through her moans. Open a little wider, he groaned, using his knees to part her further from behind. Sweat drenched the both of them as they had been going for what seemed like hours. The palms of his hands digging into her lower back, arching her more as he began his stroke again. Alec, her moans cut off her sentence as she bit into her pillow. Watching her ass rock back against his abs sent him over the edge. Come here. He pushed himself out of her, and as if on cue, she slipped his dick into her mouth, swallowing his load. Alec roughly grabbed at her chin, slightly forcing her mouth open as if checking to see if it was empty. I missed you, she whispered back. He bit his lip in response before kissing her. The two collapsed in the bed, breathless. Alec's mind drew back to Chiina retreating earlier that night, leaving him standing in the living room. You thinking about something? She questioned. The girl's accent was heavy and resembled Alec's southern drawl. Nothing, Alec replied, his accent now similar to Saji's for just a sliver of a moment. She turned to him with a surprised expression. Your family sound like that? She teased, maneuvering back on top of him, and he cleared his throat. Family, he chuckled softly. How they liking it? She inquired. They settling just fine. He leaned back against the pillows and she pressed a soft kiss to his lips. So I get to see you more often. She maneuvered her pussy over his half-limp dick. He hadn't seen her in a few months since before the Bloodmire's letter had arrived. I'ma be helping Saji's next. A low groan escaped him. A small smirk sat on her lips as he was now inside of her again. Yeah, he answered simply, and she began riding him slowly, China's words radiating in his mind. Crawl back under what you had before me. So we're gonna end it like that. That little nasty piece or whatever. We're gonna I be nasty or whatever. I be nasty.
Yes, sir.
And we happy that you are.
I be nasty.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So yeah, that
More.
No, y'all
right.
not gonna let her just end it like that. Mm-mm,
Oh
mm-mm.
no, she's gonna keep going. She's gonna keep going.
Right.
Remember the half
Look,
hour,
she
you
got
know,
No,
more
like
shit
ma'am.
to do.
bendable, you know.
Listen now. She got more shit to do.
This is a lot. Oh shit.
You
Yeah,
got all the time you want.
we have another short story, y'all. This one is only 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Isn't that crazy? Somebody said something about 222 earlier. This is called the
Yeah,
Passion Parlor, right? This is called the Passion Parlor. Some of y'all had heard Sweet Cream. Y'all have heard that piece where I talk about having a finger in somebody's butt. This is a short story about the place, the mythical place that I created that inspired that poem. So it is literally called the Passion Parlor.
Wait, there's a mystical place in somebody's. Never mind.
No, it's not up
Listen, I
there.
tell y'all,
It's in a different place.
I be turning into Miss Frizzle. So, remember that episode about the butthole? She had them people in the butt. Anyway,
Miss Frizzle is
so
crazy.
Snow White's got
ignore me,
Miss
y'all.
Frizzle on her
Are you
leg
talking
tattoo.
about Meat Canyon? Is that what you're talking about?
No.
No. No.
Okay. I've been meaning to get out of the house more and explore. Being in this new city has been exciting, but I haven't taken the time to meet people. Possibly someone to replace Anansi before she starts her bullshit. We've gotten into it here and there over these last few weeks, and so I guess the bullshit has already started, right? Today was warmer than I expected it to be, and I found this cute ice cream shop that looked almost ethereal. Light purples and creamy chocolate browns. It was chef's kiss. It was cute as fuck. The Passion Parlor. I watched all of the women flocking to different shaped tables, almost like a maid cafe, straight out of the 50s or something. Everything on the menu was interesting to say the least. With how airy and light everything was in color, the name was opposite that. There were couples everywhere sharing scoops that seemed to, I guess, match their energy. And that's where I bumped into Ezra. And damn, she's gorgeous. She's a waitress here. A brown-skinned lady with thick lips. She's a little taller than me with a fluffy fro, and it's moisturized to the gods. She went on to explain the menu to me, and I was half-assed listening, pointing out different cone collections and flavors, and she went on to tell me that everything was passion-infused, yet mythical. I have no idea what that means. And they were supposed to invoke sensual feelings upon tasting it. She claimed that sharing certain flavors combined flavors between people deepened the bond in the couple. That definitely sounds weird. There may have been a tinge of flirting between us, I guess, but I could be tripping. She could just be doing her job, being nice. It felt easy, effortless. She's a Libra, by the way. And we hit it off instantly. When you kind of just vibe with someone? Yeah, that. She had me laughing a lot. And every time Ezra visited my table, we would talk about family stuff. And man, y'all, she's real sweet. She does ask a lot of questions, though. But then at the same time, I guess I talk a lot. But our conversation was natural, flowing, a bit touchy-feely. She reached for my hand a lot, too. I ended up bringing one of the passion-infused flavors home. From Anansi's mouth last night to meeting Ezra, I'm starting to like it here. I should probably call Anansi back. So yeah, that's that short story right there. And
Wow.
Yeah, I like that one. Mhm.
thank you.
Wow.
They're gonna the stories are gonna get crazier. That short story is actually a part of the world with the books that I have dropped. Insert ad. I want to thank every single one of y'all for being here. Dre, do you have those pictures that I sent you? The Bloodmires love to cook food, and that's all I do in my spare time. So for every single one of you that are here, I am putting 3 recipes that are exclusive to the Bloodmire family in the chat for y'all to be able to save and download to your phones for you to be able to make them at home and all that jazz. So yeah, hopefully y'all enjoy that. That's that. And then the short story that I just read, like I said, all of these shorter stories are in the same time period as Haikuchi, which is the book that I dropped on my birthday earlier this year. And the other book that I dropped is the Book of Ku. Haikuchi is a whole bunch of haikus about two black women enjoying each other's vaginas. That is exactly what Haikuchi is about. It's yep, yep. And
Y'all can thank me later.
that part, right? Haikuchi is literally that. And the Book of Ku, the main character is actually you, the reader. You're reading a book you're not supposed to be reading in a house that you're not supposed to be in. And it has a short story in the beginning, 101 haikus in the middle, and a short story at the end. And I hid 58 letters throughout the entire book for you to find in order for you to fill in the last haiku to release your soul from the family, hopefully. So that is the two books that I have. Well, I have 3 books out, but those are the 2 books that I have that go with what we're talking about right now. Yay!
Sounds like a vaginal treasure hunt.
It is. It's all Easter eggs that all go together in some crazy ass way. So basically, the next thing that I'm going to share with y'all, this is going to be a longer situation. I'm hoping my time is not crazy. The reason as to why I want to share this is because it is a entire concept that I created back in 2016. My freaky ass decided to go look at what happens to your blood during an orgasm. And so I created the concept of orgasmic blood, which is literally a vampiric situation where they make their partners reach a particular peak, and they drink from them because the blood lasts longer in their system. This was a wild fucking thing for me. um and So I'm excited to share this with y'all. Like I said, this is another chapter from the book that is coming out next year. Jesus Christ. And then the rest of what I have pretty much, I believe, is all poetry. So those of you who love when I spit shit, y'all will get that right after this. But this will highlight like I said, orgasmic blood, because I like freaky shit. And so yeah, BDSM, blood play, et cetera, all that jazz, that's Kaname that likes those things. Just having y'all put that out there or whatever. So Saji was pacing about in his newly built office, his wingtip shoes echoing as the construction went on in the front of the Twist. The office space his sister decorated fit his taste to a T. Deep wooden floors gave him a slight connection to the soil he loved so much. Dark mahogany wood with rich forest greens, hints of ivory and gold accents added to the calming, earthy effect. He had hired a small company to build dressing rooms and a stage, a separate company to design and build his bar. He was really pulling out all the strings to make sure this whole thing was perfect. Almost everything was going according to plan. His coffee brown eyes scanned the large room. It was only a matter of time before it would be filled with cigar smoke and horny babes. The list coming to his mind, he sighed, pulling his hair back into a loose ponytail. Alec managed to score a place that was fairly large and could accommodate well over 100 people. The dressing rooms were being built, as were bathroom facilities. Men had been moving in and out of the Twist since Saji had opened the doors that morning, working on the fine detailing before loading in any furniture and flashier decor, carrying glasses for mirrors and large wooden pieces for the stage and bar. Heavy wooden chairs and their matching high tables, bar stools, and shelves were being placed about. Just last week, the floors had been sanded and polished, and booths had already been installed. They had high backs, and in the middle of the inseams, a capital B could be found. This same B marking was in the intricate ceiling design. A webbing of vines was etched around it, oddly similar to the family's crest. A multitude of miniature chandeliers accented the ceiling. Black sconces hung on the walls, and they gave off a purple hue, providing a warm, sensual tone. The air smelled of cedar and mahogany, Saji's favorite scents. A few weeks had passed, and Chiina and Aiden had gone to see how much progress had been made. Saji decided to give them a small tour of the joint. A feeling of warmth washed over Chiina. It seemed Alec had gone out of his way to implement some of their once-forgotten home. Though it needed more work, she thought it was perfect for what Saji had in mind. It was now well into the evening, and Saji had dinner brought to them from a nearby family-owned restaurant. "So the bar will be there," Saji said proudly as he jabbed the steak knife in the direction of where his sister had been sitting. Aiden pushed his food around on his plate, not quite in the mood for the medium-rare steak placed in front of him. He managed to cut it up into bite-sized pieces, but had barely picked at it. His arm hung loosely over the back of his chair. Kaname suddenly came barging through the doors a little more off than usual. The door slammed hard against the wall behind it, causing one of Saji's eyes to twitch, and he half turned. The fuck is wrong with you? He pressed, Kaname humming to himself, staggering. You drunk again? Aiden asked as his brother grabbed an idle chair and spun it around, so when he sat, his chest was facing the back of it. He grabbed the fork that was hanging in between Aiden's fingers and began digging into his plate of food. Kaname groaned, slowly chewing, a lazy smile on his face. Nah, I'm fine. Kaname's voice was sultry, though his words were slurred. He rested his head in the crook of his arms, his locks falling in front of his face. Kaname idly rocked back and forth, savoring the flavors of what was in his mouth. Where you coming from? Chiina asked. She and Saji gave each other a questioning look. Kaname hadn't been home for almost well over a week, but he was clean from head to toe. Hopping down off the bar, she quickly skipped over to him, noticing that his eyes were just glowing silver before he had put his head into his arms. Grabbing a fistful of his locks, she yanked his head upwards. Kaname's mouth was slightly open mid-chew. His fangs were extended but receding back into his gums as seconds passed. You've been feeding? She hissed into his ear. No shit, he seethed back, causing Saji to drop his heavy silver fork onto the ceramic plate. Sis, let me go. He half attempted to pull his head away. How many people you fed from? She questioned, releasing his locks from her grip. One person, he replied, picking up Aiden's fork again. The same person? Chiina asked. Saji roughly wiped at the corners of his mouth with a purple handkerchief. Yenha. Yes, Kaname confirmed confidently. The same person. He scooped up some mashed potatoes before stuffing it into his mouth. And you came here like that? Saji questioned, moving to the left of Kaname, one of his hands in his pockets. Kaname shifted to face the two of them. The fuck is wrong with you? Saji repeated, clearly pissed, and Kaname began sizing his brother up, but then decided to ignore him. Answer me something, Kaname directed towards his sister. You killed that girl. Chiina sucked her teeth, annoyance written all over her face immediately. You've been starting shit since we got here. Chiina spoke through her teeth. Kaname laughed, but the humor didn't reach his eyes. And you've been lying since before we got here, Kaname said smoothly, sitting back in his chair. The fuck that mean? Saji moved towards him to put space between the two of them as Kaname's smile widened. His glare bounced between his siblings. We all have secrets, Kaname shrugged, a look of knowing in his eyes. You think because we don't know what you did to Kashmir? China's fist connected with Kaname's jaw instantly, stopping him mid-sentence. Asante, she whispered harshly. You son of a bitch. He was cut off again, a low growl emitting from Chiina as she raised her left hand, the thin purple markings returning under her skin, pulsing brighter than the cabin night. Chai, calm down. Saji began as her fingers flexed outward, and with ease she shoved Kaname up against the wall. The sound he let out was that mixed with a groan and laughter as he hit his shoulder blade against the sconce. Saji watched on in delight, not bothering to stop his sister. Ain't nobody afraid of you, Chai. Kaname was now pinned against the wall, strands of his locks beginning to wrap around his neck. She had formed a band about 4 locks thick, settled nicely, restricting him. Is this what you looked like before you killed her? Kaname spoke slowly, straining over his words, his wingtip shoes scraping against the wooden walls. Neither Saji or Aiden moved to do or say anything to stop her. Saji half hoped her power was returning on its own, just as he said it would, his expression hopeful as he glanced to Aiden. Tanati Muneze, she whispered to his right. Her labored breaths caused Saji to turn slightly. Tears streamed down her face as she seemed to be struggling. Chai, wait, wait. The thin branch-like marking splayed itself across her chest, and China's body turned rigid and cold. As the pattern skittered across her chest, retching noises erupted from her, her throat filling with a gritty substance. Kaname fell to the floor, and China doubled over, Aiden watching, catching her as she fell to the side. Shit, he repeated, tugging her towards his chest. He began whispering in her ear. A wave of calmness washed over him as she slipped into unconsciousness. Kaname coughed as he fell to the ground and unraveled his hair from around his neck. Put her in my office, Saji instructed Aiden, who lifted his sister with ease. What is that? Kaname pointed to China, urgency and concern riddled in his voice, still on all fours. The reason I've told you to stop, Saji said calmly, and Kaname frustratingly ran his fingers through his hair. Shit. He looked to his sister as they watched Aiden disappear down the hall. Now we really don't know what makes it come. Saji rambled more to himself. It? What are you? Kaname asked, confused. The fucking root or whatever it is. Saji spoke through his teeth, combing a finger through his locks. I thought it only came when she spoke about it. He went on. About what? I thought the dirt only comes when she speaks about Jamaica and that fucking forest. He seethed, pacing about the twist. But clearly if she's pushed too far. He suddenly turned to his brother. Who the fuck you been feeding from? Saji pressed as Kaname pulled some of his hair from covering his eyes, seemingly annoyed with himself. See him, gal. Met her over here on St. Charles. He grabbed the same chair he had been sitting on earlier. Got some lunch. He shrugged while bouncing a knee. We met up again. I took her to some places or whatever. Saji was still glaring, shaking his head in confusion. You gotta keep them fed. He tried to add in some humor, Aiden joining them in the main area again. So, the first night as I'm stroking her, I get to feeling the need to bite her. Aiden made up his face. What are y'all talking about, feeding during sex? Aiden asked and Kaname nodded. During sex? Kaname mocked his younger brother. I forgot you don't fuck. Kaname chuckled lightly, to which Aiden rolled his eyes. Or whatever you do. Aiden sighed heavily and shrugged off his brother's responses. Anyway, I figured after me taking this girl out, we'd just kill her. Saji tilted his head, stopping his pacing, his brows furrowed as Kaname continued. And put her where? Due to Kaname's expression, Saji could tell that he hadn't thought it all the way through. You must be fucking stripping and then you came here. Kaname threw his hands up in defeat. Just listen, nah. I like it. He gave an unapologetic shrug, looking down at the plate. I don't give a fuck about the food, Saji said, Kaname's brow cocked, his right eye narrowing slightly as he met his brother's gaze. No, what I mean is sex and pain go together like this. He pointed down to the steak and mashed potatoes while Saji rolled his eyes. What are you talking about? Aiden groaned. Kaname sucked his teeth again and continued on with his story. So I'm fucking her from behind, right? Grabbing the chair he had been sitting in, he spun it quickly, leaving the back of the chair against his dick. He began gyrating against it, laughing as his hips swayed back and forth. He gripped the chair's back tighter, slamming into it with force, mimicking feminine moans. His voice got low as he remembers her small waist under his fingertips. Focus on that spot. And just as she's coming, bite her. Kaname's smile is lopsided, but his eyes are full of lust as his mind recounted the events from earlier. What is the point of this? Saji was growing impatient. Her blood tasted different, y'all. He plopped back down in his chair, idly biting his lip. What? Aiden arched a brow. It was sweeter, thicker. Just the thought of drinking from her again excited him enough to make him grab his dick. He licked his lips slowly as if he could still taste her. And as she's shaking under me, Kaname had been graphic and detailed in all of his stories. It must have been a great nut because she passed out after that. He pulled his groin away from the chair, and something told me not to kill her. Kaname didn't bother pausing. He knew his brothers were soaking in all the information. So I watched her, all night. Kaname shrugged, seemingly zoned out. The next morning, she was all over me. He bit his lip again and let out a groan. What kind of magic is that? Aiden inquired to Saji. Kaname finally dropped the fork, now having finished Aiden's plate of food. You got any more of this? He asked Saji, who pointed to a spare plate on top of the bar. He didn't hesitate to hop off of his chair and shoulder shimmy towards it. Kaname began hacking away at his steak and potatoes, all eyes still on him. Who made this? He inquired, looking to his brothers. You gotta tell me where you got this. He looked towards Saji, who passed him a glass of water. Gulping it down, he went back to eating. Kaname, can you take this serious? His eyes darted between his brothers. What do you mean she don't remember? Saji raised a brow after receiving a head shake from Kaname. Nah, he was chewing loudly and wiping at his mouth with a cloth napkin. The next night, I decided to tase her. He spoke in between moans as he continued to stuff his face. What? Kaname waved Aiden off, pressing his hands up against his fingers and made a licking motion. I bit her right there. He placed a hand up against the side of his groin. It's like a sweet spot. You hold on to it, don't change your tempo. Aiden cleared his throat. We get it, Saji said dryly. It has to be at that exact moment, Kaname said. Not before, not after, at that very moment. At that moment? Aiden asked, and Kaname rolled his eyes, groaning. Whoever it is you do, whenever y'all do it, whenever they reach their peak, Kaname said slowly. You do it then, he finished. With a sweep of his hand, Kaname arranged the tossing about of the chairs accordingly, putting the twist back together, his veins glowing in the process. However, unlike his sisters, there was no dullness. EVC, Saji thanked only to receive a shrug. So now I'm checking on how long it lasts before I'm craving her again. Kaname continued. He rubbed his fingers together, half mumbling to himself. To be honest, I've never felt like this before. And that's the end of that. I feel like I sped through that shite. Sorry, y'all.
Yeah, I need a
I
juice
sped through
soda.
that OD, right? So yeah, that was Orgasmic Blood. Obviously, Kaname has some very wild interests. And you do find out about the Bloodmires in the Book of Ku because there's chapters for them and haikus that go with them and their personalities. So now we have 3 poems of me talking shit, and then I'm gonna get out of y'all hair. And y'all don't gotta talk about, nothing else. And each of these poems is like a minute and 10 seconds or shorter. Isn't that great? So this first piece right here is called Oh Well. And this piece is halfway dedicated, or not even, I want to say dedicated to someone that's in here, but her name is in this piece. So, or her middle name is in this piece, but she knows who she is when she hears it. So once again, this piece is called Oh Well. In the shadows of dusk, where the music strums, I dance with my kin to the beat of Monet's drums. The blood of the night clung sweet to my tongue as we swayed in the club. After hours, dark deeds had been done. On this night, we had plenty of fun. I'ma tell you what each of these motherfuckers did, one by one. Them niggas lay cold, their souls in our grasp. But we laughed and we danced, wingtips stepping on someone's ass. You see, they were disrespectful. They really lacked class. So I figured it was time to orchestrate my craft. Show them how we handle those who are crass. Their screams were our song and their blood our wine. And trust me, I took my time. We reveled in the dark in the lounge of Le Twist. I left a message so they know we don't fuck with none of that shit. As the moon hung high in its blood-soaked sheen, I handed out glasses of bee juice to my brothers in our team. We toasted to life, to the horror unseen. And that's peace. These pieces are all dedicated to the fact that tonight is the full moon or whatever. So I hope y'all, you know what I mean? Tonight is the full moon. Full moon. Full moon. That's why I'm over here acting like this. I'm like, yeah, I'm telling you, I'm ugly cry after this. I need my roll a blunt. And then we're going to I'm a hush for the rest of the night. So this next piece is called Posse Erasure. This was a prompt from Mama Shine last year. Let me tell y'all the story. And trust, it's going to get gory. I might have to chill for a little in purgatory. I once had to silence 4 women. Wait, everything was cool in the beginning. Many nights of slow whining and fish skinning, jerking chicken in the kitchen with cool waters for swimming. Until they pushed limits that resulted in me standing over their bodies, the erasure of a posse. Now they sliced up like salami, their screams sharper than harpies, wishing they had chosen better hobbies. On the night of the eclipse, dried stitched lips, too many emptied clips, legs spread open with broken hips, necks cracked like whips. One taste of her, my speech slurred. In her own blood, the second one was submerged. My vision blurred as the third one burned. Number 4, everything she got, she deserved. All of them silenced. I got the last word. Now I'm cold and full of dread. I'd rather y'all dead. I said what the fuck I said. And that piece goes into this last piece called Harvest Season. This is a bunch of death, y'all, right? I hate every single one of you. I say with blood on my hands, August of 1932. They were mad because I refused to break bread, pretend and be cute, fall in line on cue, do what they wanted me to, suffer the way they expected from the puppet tool. Chai was pissed. On the full moon, she learned that a promise is a comfort to a fool. The blind leading the blind, the fuck that's gonna do? How far you expect us to move? So I muted them too. Filled their throats with forest residue, stitched lips with the material of Sunday shoes. Their diet of lies left them full, seams loose. Perfect scarecrows, my old friend group. That's vintage news. Let me solve the plot holes for you. My backyard has plenty of room. And that's that piece. My cat just licked my arm. So, once again, my name is Chiina with 2 eyes, the better to see you with. Bloodmire, like vampire, a hybrid witch. And this is usually how I get off stage in general. So, 'cause you know it's hard out here for a witch when she tryna get that money for incense. All the candle wax and herbs she done lit. Got a whole lot of bitches in a ditch. Once again, good night. Thank you for summoning me. Open minds, open mic. Dre, I love y'all. Thank you. I am so nervous still, and I'm gonna ugly cry after this. And oh my God, thank you for listening to me read for mad long.
No,
Uh,
thank you for
yeah, thank you.
showcasing your poetry and your prose. And everybody at this time, unmute. Give it up for the one and only Chiina Bloodmire at this time. Wepa!
I'm
Hey,
in picnic
yeah.
shine.
Get it, baby.
I'm in picnic
Amazing.
shine.
What?
What
In
an
picnic
amazing
shine.
time,
I'm so proud of you. I am so damn proud of you.
right?
I'm
He
so
even gave
proud.
us recipes too, not even story, poetry, and all that, but recipes. I mean, we got like the full gambit tonight, yo. That was so amazing. Thank you so much, Chiina, for doing this. Yeah, wow, that was so dope.
Everybody at this time, I want to just direct everyone's attention to the group chat. I am posting China's link tree. So pretty much everything that you need to get in with in terms of what events she's got going on, what publications, the whole gambit. It's right there at that link tree. Get on that, and
Sign up to that
everybody,
Patreon. We signing up right now. I told my wife, I said, go ahead and sign up to the Patreon. I want the 10 chapters. So yeah, y'all get up
and
on that Patreon.
And another reminder for everybody in this room, if you haven't yet already, as a spectator or as a participant in the upcoming Go for Blood Slam #2, it'll be in this very Zoom room at on Sunday, November 24th at 5:55 p.m. It'll be $5.55 if you would like to spectate. $33.33 if you would like to participate as a poet going for blood. And it's a
I
winner
need,
take all slam. So
I
please,
need to get in on that.
and to get in on that, you have to DM and Cash App Chiina Bloodmire as soon as you can, because slots be filling up. And we will love to see some heavy hitters. This is a showcase of slam talent from across the nation, and it's like an all-star game. It's like a fucking all-star game, and they all going for blood. It's dope. It means something. And with that said, one more time, get up for Chiina Bloodmire. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your creativity. Thank you for the
We love you,
worlds that you
China. Thank you so
created.
much.
You're
Thank you for being
amazing.
you
We
and so
love you. We
creative.
love
And yeah, thank you
you.
for the world you created. Ah,
Amazing spellcaster. Look at you go.
right.
Crazy.
So impressed.
Hybrid witch.
The
Yeah.
picnic shine.
That's what's
She's
up.
like, y'all need some money for incense and candles up the burn.
So much love.
And with that said, we are going to be continuing on with this show. Thank you again, China. You are the shit. Um, Let me just remove that spotlight. There we go. Let's see here. I just posted the updated list. And speaking of the list, if anybody here who is thinking about wanting to participate, there is still plenty of room. This list does not close. This is open minds, open list. So with that said, if you would like to join in, just let me know in the group chat. But this is what we have so far lined up for the second half of the show. So with that said, let's get on with it. On deck, we got Jackson Riley, but leading things off in half #2. Please give it up. Returning back to the Zoom room here. Give it up for Lady Shine. Unmute and take it away when you are ready.
All right. So I really struggled to figure out what I was gonna do, but because it's China and they like when I do nasty shit, I'm gonna do something y'all haven't heard from me before. So I'm gonna do something just a little nasty. They've heard it, but y'all haven't heard this side of me. So let's go ahead and do 666 divine submission. famous last words he said. Tell me what you want. Well, see, I want to know what it feels like to have a lightning strike my spinal cord and then dance through the monsoon in between my legs as your fingertips dance between my lower lips and your other hand forces my chin back to give you the demanded eye contact. Regrip, then squeeze. Daddy, please, for I am so outside of my element, and the warmth of your breath on the back of my neck sends the arch in my back from sea to you formation. Then I never knew that monsoons could sing, and she sings eruption melodies, and then he demands my praise as his eyes force me onto my knees. As it is now time for worship, and I like it here. No, I love it here, and it's his moans that send me to a place where the only language spoken is pleasure, and I love keeping him tongue-tied, as he always keeps a seat for me, face buried deep in between my thighs. And did I mention that I love how he never asks for mercy, bites with just enough pain to ignite pleasure, but to never truly hurt me. And I want him to make me beg for it, for every single inch of it. And he knows that I'm a little scared of it, so he never gives it all to me when I ask for it, and never gives it all when I beg for it, never fills me up even though I drip in anticipation of it. It's always the tip and then take away the shaft just beyond the tip as he laughs and loves to play. And when he gives it all, it's like my soul just left me and flew the hell away as his growl snatches it and rams it back into place. My breath is now gone as I run to try and catch it. It's his hands that have gripped my waist to ensure that I cannot get away. And I have lost control of my legs, but he seems to have found it. Spellbound by lust and love, and there is no way that I can get around it. He tells me to let go, and as commanded, I do. And I explode for the first time in my life, and now it's a hurricane and no longer a simple monsoon. And it's his hands that are the only things keeping my mind and my body and my soul in this goddamn room as my body begins to collapse. His does too. And that is when he looks me in the eye and says, see, now this is what happens when you tell a real man what it is that you want for him to do. That's peace, y'all.
Oh, wow. Everybody unmute and please give it up for Lady Shine at this time.
Let's go, Twin. I know that's right. Twin.
Yo, oh Lord, my twin is in here.
On my body, baby.
I
Tell
been
me
got
my
my
wife hopping
on my lap with that one.
Did that, you did that, and you did that.
You did it, and you did it well. Holy shit. Oh my goodness. You see, everybody, poetry is a walking trigger warning, man. And when Lady Shine hits the mic, bam! You never know what you're gonna get hit with, but it's gonna be heavy shit. And that erotica was heavy shit. Thank you for sharing that, Lady Shine. Oh my God, this second half is off to a hella fire start. And I want to just take this time to thank everybody again for joining us here on Open Minds Open Mic at this very time. And wow, we are excited to see more poetry, more creative goodness. With that said, on deck, we got Black Salts WLF. But stepping up to the stage now, please give it up for Jackson Riley. Unmute and take it away when you are ready.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, China, that was fucking insane. Everyone who's performed tonight, incredible. But yeah, I'm so just awesome opportunity to be here and listen to all of this. I have had the new Tyler the Creator album stuck in my head for like a week, and I took some of those lyrics and just did a free write, and we'll see how it goes. Darling, I keep falling in love. Darling, I keep falling in love. Oh, falling in love. Forever's too long. Unless you let the right one in, I suppose. I've been distracted and racked with the guilt and the throes from looking a gorgeous bouquet in the mouth, not the rose. Now I'm alone, holding tight to her blocked phone, number numb among the ash. In a past life, I sold my rash mind for bags of hash. Night falls, the moon wanes. These days, it's all the same to me. I think I've lost already, so I resign to drink myself to sleep. I'm dying hellish quietly, but I'm a selfish poet. Cry with me, imbibe with me, dine with me, lie with me. Don't lie to me. I know my faults, please. Don't you know I'm in recovery? I've been sober too long, though. Think I deserve some humbling, some bumbling, some stumbling, some spiced rum and a bubbly personality. Honestly, to me, it comes so naturally, though much less when I'm down on myself, crumbling to atrophy. Much less sparkle, spackled sharp when everything is sad to me. When I opt to fritter my days strung out atop a canopy, I'm complacent and frustrated with the vice grip that it has on me. It started as a hobby. How did it become a habit? What can I say? I'm in pain. Please, I gotta have it. You have all my love, my dear, but with this, my wish is granted. When that light flickers, I flicker back. Like ticker tape on turtle tab, miss the track. Just hit me up, give me time. I'll get you back. Keep doing it that way if it's your favorite. I say in my head to my imagination, pay dirt or pavement. There's no time to quote vibrations. And still, if I explained it, I wonder who might ordain it. I wonder who would abstain, and I wonder who could relate it. I don't feel graduated, and I don't have the strength to face it. Amazing what Maze would went wondering what his days meant, but fuck it, where's today? I'm in a daze. Did I save it yet? The day, I mean, what is today? Am I still underrated? Should I go pack it up and go back to bumps in the basement? When you're dumb and fun, it's easy to waste youth on quaint arrangements, like a house that spans 1 floor or 3, all the better for me to see with 2 eyes. I stole that line from the only Bloodmire I know. My placement was just so-and-so, but her words still bang, I've got to go. Yes, we just got a new POTUS, as I'm sure you've taken notice, so it's incumbent upon us as his incumbent opponents not to suffer lightly his demonstrably monstrous atonements from Kansas to Metropolis. They cannot silence all of us, try as they might. We know our rights, we will not spit or swallow them. Abolish us will astonish them. The world's not over until then. We march and we march and we fight to the end for our right to be free again. Ostensibly, I tend to be more cynical around the evenings. Should you catch me in the moon's bask, how dare you ask what's wrong with me? I don't require your monogamy. I don't need you to love all of me. I don't want 3 bushels of wheat delivered twice a day with homily. I'm an addict and an oddity. No wonder I can't sit properly. No wonder I don't stand tall or shoot straight edged when I'm hobbling on the town. I think I frowned less when I was drowning in delusion, but these infusions aren't helping. They're just forming new contusions, run ragged, and I'm bruised. What if I want to lose it? Why not end it here and now then? It's a question. You should be used to it by now. I'm selfish. If I sell fish, it's a Ponzi scheme. I rigged it to get me rich. McDaffie off the high beam. That was figurative. I just figured it will be fun injecting a bit of interpolation of my own rhymes as a victim and an innocent. The enrichment of rich kids with wrists slit on cement. But who am I kidding? I just turned 25. I had assumed I wouldn't be alive by now. Last year I tried and failed, maybe. Or maybe it was the love that saved me, vaulting over an 8-foot fence, razor blade in my pocket, sleeping pills in the other. My brother is screaming, "Stop it!" in my ear. I love him, but I know he cannot hear or feel these voices and this noise that I fear, and it's real, and I know he can't believe that in my rear view, I see everything worth living for. I compare myself to a rabid dog. I hear cogs turn in the static. How can one engage with a brain tabbed on acid and other planets? But somehow he got through. I abdicated the mantle and lived to tell the tale. Intemperance, more gentle. 3 more years, I guess I've got till I'm no longer tragic. I don't really get very manic anymore, just fat and peaceful. Is it selfish to learn from it? Poem.
What the fuck?
Oh, my God. Everybody unmute and give it up for Jackson Riley at this time.
Listen,
You
What?
are
phenomenal.
amazing.
Oh my God.
You
That
just
was
Cut
you
absolutely
just leveled
everybody
up,
off.
Showed
dog.
up.
Everyone.
Shoot.
Yeah. You just
You
touched
just
my
Wow.
leveled
soul. You
up,
just touched my
dude. Like
soul.
That was
you hit a whole
magic.
new level of poetry, brother.
Yes.
Like fuck it.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
And
throwing
even
things,
shouted out
man.
the feature in there too. Like what?
Like,
Like
oh,
yo. And he
Look, I'm over
sang at the
here.
beginning,
Look,
Smooth man. Like
I didn't
bro,
do
in the
everything.
journey,
The
like
rest of my
that,
PJs,
You're
my house
amazing.
shoes, my
right?
The
Like
way you
that's
I
the
just want to
future of
say this
structure,
out
poetry right
loud
there. He
real
only
quick.
25 years old, man. This kid
boy,
is
you
the
are
future of
structure the
poetry. The
Jesus.
joint.
world is gonna be all right. The
I
world
just
is
want to
gonna
say
be
this. I just want to say this real quick.
The
One
way
of
you
many
structure
things.
that joint
First,
is crazy.
oh, sorry. First, I want to say, holy shit. Second, if anybody has contact like with Neil Hilburn, like please hook Jackson Riley up because they need to do a collab. I want to see that come to life at some point. And 3, Jackson, I love you. You're like a kid brother to me, and I just want to see you grow. And that piece, it just shows more of your growth as a writer, and as you're building confidence, and it's just going to snowball into something bigger, and I can't wait to see you knock motherfuckers out, as if you haven't already. What is there more to say?
you're gonna become one of the greats, bro. Keep that pen going, man. Like straight up, you leveled up with that piece, man. Like keep going, dude. Like you will become one of the greats, dude. It's like people will remember your name for fucking hundreds of years, man. Like keep going, dude.
You guys are amazing. I couldn't unmute at the time, but I'm gonna give you your flowers, Lady Shine. Amazing, absolutely amazing, Jackson. Thank you. That was refreshing.
It's been a fiery second half so far. Thank you again, Jackson, for doing what you do. If there isn't any more feedback, please give it up for Jackson one more time. Damn.
Oh shit, yeah. Fire.
He's the torchbearer because he comes to every room and he burns it down. And with that said, we're going to keep this ember rolling. With that said, on deck, we got Black Noise, but step up to the plate now. Please get up for Black Salt WLF. Unmute and take it away when you are ready.
Hello, hello. Um, yeah, I'm just gonna spit one piece for you guys. I want to use the share screen feature, if that's okay. Show off some artwork, and I've got the lyrics on display for anyone that wants to follow along. Okay, so I got the thumbs up. So let's see here. Share. There's no sound really needed. And so this is my Instagram. And as you can see, I do a lot of, I use it to just kind of post poetry and express myself on here. And so I'm going to share with you this piece. It's called Blind God by Black Salt 47 or Black Salt WLF. That's me by BS. And so can you hear me okay? You see the screen okay? Seeing what I'm seeing. Okay, so let's get right into it. Blind God, here we go. Get in the water. Sailors are a superstitious folk. Never journey on a Friday. Whistling on board conjures a storm. And may I mention my favorite? Toss a pinch of salt over your left shoulder for good luck. It was said the devil was always right behind you on your left. And you could throw salt in its eye to blind it for a day. What some don't know, it don't work for the demon of death. See, death is already blind. Some call it the blind God. That don't hold it back much though. All it means is it's immune to the disguises that we wear. It's simple, really. So simple it's terrifying. So simple, it just might kill you. And that is Blind God. And if anyone was curious, that is a reference to the fallen angel, you know. And so yeah, Blind God. I just felt it went right together with the superstition based on sailor's superstition. So and so that's what I got for tonight. I'm gonna go ahead and leave it at that. So yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for holding space for me.
Thank you. Everybody, please unmute and give it up for Black Salt WLF at this time.
Yeah.
Was awesome.
Bro, I love that line. 'Cause death is blind.
Love the salt. Yeah, that was awesome.
Oh, and this, yeah, the whole, that was great, man. The superstition is tied in with that. Like, oh, it's great, man. I love what you do, bro.
And if this is anybody's first time listening to Black Salt, you're gonna dig his poetry if you're into mythological stuff. And it's been a treat to be introduced to different gods from different religions and areas of the world. So he's educated. He looks into this stuff. So with that said, one more time, give it up for Black Salt.
Yeah, brother.
Black salt.
Loved it.
And we're going to be loving more of this shit coming up now. On deck, we got Escape Artist, but stepping up to the plate now, please give it up for Black Noise. Unmute and take it away when you are ready.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to really follow anybody who just went. Y'all have been amazing tonight. Amazing. And I appreciate all of you for sure. For sure.
Don't start that.
No, I really mean that. I haven't been doing too many open mics or anything like that lately, so hopefully you liked it. Untitled. Haven't been singing quite like I used to. Chirps falling on deaf ears, feathers all tarred. Must sound like music to non-believers. Scoffers at those who think outside the nest, watchers of the avian who hate to see truth fly, oppressors of the messenger. Maya said, We are all caged birds. And I guess you could say my expectations have grown me a prison, expecting people to live, stay alive, grow, love, believe in me like I and those who I barely know. Sometimes I clip my own wings, cutting them off at the quill, determined to take flight despite how cramped this cage inside a coffin is. I have to admit that here lately, I've been hungry for clouds. So I sharpened my beak in preparation of an updraft to go to war with naysayers, all who visit the cage and don't believe I can fly. I refrain from pecking those who feed me only to say that they have, still leaving me behind these bars to proclaim hero, victim, or to go to sleep better at night. I give the world excuses. Like they must be having a bad day. I must be in his will. Everything happens for a reason. It just wasn't my time, or I wasn't, or must have dodged a bullet, even through feeling bird shot. More Thanksgiving quail than eagle. I must save face for the day I set myself free. Yet this purpose is not of my own volition. I guess this is meant to make me stronger. There I go again, making excuses for pain. But that's the only thing that allows me to continue giving grace. I'm learning to give grace, to give me grace. A lesson in breaking 30 plus years of bad flight practice. Life must be in order, one wing after another, making sure both are strong enough to move in unison. What unlocks the cage? An age old question. Thoughts less parakeet than peregrine. Nowadays, more murder of ravens than turtle dove. I don't fit here. Been growing through this down. And ain't that what they say? Stay down until you come up, until your flight feathers gain full mobility. Box around cage burns, bars fall away until flight becomes catchable. I be Simon, awaiting for my turn. But instead of mending nets, I be strengthening these wings until I'm instructed to be the first to fly close to the sun and not burn until burning winds become audible and holy ground becomes the oxygen in your lungs until my words take flight even in your exhale. Peace.
God damn, my man. Everybody, please give it up for Black Noise at this time. Yeah.
Welcome back, man. It's been a minute. And I know I ain't seen you over there making magic, man. That was beautiful piece, man.
That was the
We
introduction for me
missed
to
you,
your
man.
work, and I am grateful for it. Thank you. I love the eagle analogies, as I do identify with one that takes flight. Amazing.
Now you
Yeah.
so for anybody else that is being introduced to Black Noise's work and you like it, and if you want to get yourself some to take home with you, check out
I am
this.
right there.
We got ourselves a copy of I Cry Over Spilled Ink, A Poetic Revolution. Again, this is by Black Noise. Hit him
That
up
title, though.
on Instagram And legit, get yourself a copy today. I was able to break into it, and it's just one thing is to hear the poetry, and then another thing is to read it. Just you just get a full digestion of it, and
Hey,
I
bro. Hey, wait
appreciate
a
you.
minute. Wait. Whoa. Wait a minute. You got my shit?
Yeah, I was able to find a copy of this on Amazon or wherever it was. I
Fucking
remember I went into your
right, bro.
Instagram and I was like, I yeah. So this is what I mean by us as a community supporting each other. So with that said, share your links in that group chat.
Hey,
Utilize it
man.
to your fullest advantage.
That poem is not in the book, but at the end of the day, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Anybody who's gotten my book, I appreciate them because I understand that we all have money issues. We all have things to deal with, and that's a touching moment. You know what I mean? I didn't know you had my shit. You know what I mean? And that's my baby. So, um, thank you. Thank you so much, man. Um, we got a lot of shit coming up. This fucking tour is over. I've been on tour um, for the better part of 8 months, right? And we got a lot of great shit coming. I can't wait. China is definitely a part of that because I know she ain't gonna tell me no. Um, because I ain't gonna tell her no. Um, so I know she ain't gonna tell me no.
She
But
gave you a
she's
yes some
definitely
months
a
back
part of
though.
this next.
Yeah, I told you yes in 1897. So yeah, it's
Okay,
Facts.
definitely.
then fuck it, fuck it, fuck it. And then
And I know
and
because
then
I was in that
and then
call.
I got another yes in 1968. Fuck it,
Yes,
we finna
yes.
go ahead and turn the fuck up. But no, for real, I love you for that, dog. For showing my joint, man. I really damn damn shit. I'm about to damn near cry around this motherfucker.
Oh my god. Oh man.
Gangsters cry too.
No, it's good. Hey, it is important to feel out every emotion that you have. Okay, let's end that fucking stigma, all right? And with that said, we appreciate you, Black Noise. We appreciate everybody here in the Zoom room. Again, just a reminder: utilize that group chat to your fullest advantage. Promote yourself shamelessly, and we will shamelessly support you. So, with that said, thank
Yeah,
you.
much love, dog.
Much love to you as well, man. Definitely. Um, And with that said, we're gonna keep this open mic rolling. On deck, we got Zoe Hudson, but step up to the plate now. Please give it up for Escape Artist. Unmute and take it away when you are ready.
Sorry, I'm dealing with like a newborn and a 2-year-old, so I was a little bit tied up. Okay, here we go. Um, when it comes to living, poetry is not enough. It doesn't supply adequate nutrition for my cells to thrive. I must be painter, designer, I must be artist, creator, hands be cauldron of concepts connected to claws of construction. It's the way I draw my sword against graveyard gremlins who can't fathom another reality other than the one they occupy, who tread this realm with meaningless verbs, no destination in their steps, who try to tie me down to the transit of their train of thought. I don't travel through time that way, worried about what images of me are shaped into false deities in the minds of sheep. I don't take for granted the long arm or the short hand as they rotate around existence. Too busy decorating space with purpose, as tasked by the Creator, occupied with building a better basis for life. I can't breathe with just lungs. I must do it through minds, with body. It's not enough to bend alphabets into motion or language into images. These ears hear fibers begging to be more than spools. These eyes see souls trapped in pigment. and I can feel the heartbeat of the graphite escaping my fingers. There's no other choice for me but to rescue them from potential and show for them the greatness, by which I mean it's my responsibility to bless the mortals with imagination and build universe for those who seek solace. I understand why Earth wasn't enough, why he also had to make Pluto and Jupiter, and he put rings around Saturn, couldn't settle on just the Milky Way. He had to make the spiral galaxy and the black hole. Even if we don't see life in anything else he created, maybe he for when days when light wasn't enough, for the big bang that really felt to empty his mind of the heathen, to corrupt his Eden. To these beings, there's no time to look up or down, just into the crowd of creations cheering to be chosen. This is why I don't get tangled up in the rumored single dimension beings with monogamous tongues. I don't have the luxury of time looking down at my feet or those beneath. I know they are grounded. It is my mind I free. This is the way I observe my peace. I think that's all I'm going to be able to get through, but
We appreciate first your dedication to the craft, for being able to do that while you're taking care of your child, and secondly, your craft, your your pen. Everybody, please give it up for Escape Artist at this time. Holy shit!
Yes.
That
Beautiful,
was absolutely
baby.
gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
Hey, Escape. I know when I first met you, your pen was at a certain level. And then like it grew and grew and then exploded. And now that motherfucker is a behemoth. Like that shit is crazy. Like, I'm not gonna like for real. Like I appreciate
Her
your
pen's like a
pen
cannon that
so
spits
much.
lava.
It is amazing. Like from I gotta get your book. I know I'm not home yet. I'm not home yet. But as soon as I get home, I'm getting that motherfucker because first of all, I know I'm gonna get a handmade key, and then and then I'm gonna get words that I fucking need in my life. Like you the shit, girl.
oh
And I
man,
need you
thanks
to know that.
for
I need you to know that for real though. Like
all your kind
for real.
words, guys. It was a
Man,
struggle for
fuck
a
all
little bit
that.
there. I was like, oh man, this baby's gonna start wilding any minute now. But I got through
Stop
it.
it.
So thanks
Stop
for
it.
having
You a fucking
patience with
We
me.
love
superhero.
you, Escape. We love you.
Mothers, women, all that shit is superheroes. Y'all got superpowers that we just ain't got. Period. I can be a girl dad all I want, right? And I can like say that they can do no wrong. My girls can't do any wrong. But mothers are the shit. And I can't do what the fuck they do at all. So take pride in that. Let her turn the fuck up. Let
Thank
them
you. And
turn the
thank you
fuck
for the space, everyone.
Thank you.
That,
And
that piece right there felt like it just took me home, like back to the stars for real. Like I love every bit of that. Thank
right on. And seriously, keep writing. Right on. Um, just to do just a quick response to something I saw in the group chat. Yes, Open Minds Open Mic is a regularly scheduled event every Friday. This is Zoom room, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And just to give everyone a heads up here, if this is your first time into the Zoom room, we do have other events throughout the week that we promote pretty much daily, or on Instagram through Open Minds Open Mic. But if you follow the One Slam Jam, the show that I run tomorrow in this very Zoom room, I post reels daily just to promote other things that are happening. So please check in on that. If you are digging what you're experiencing, there are more days of the week you could experience this. So again, we thank all of you here who are sharing space here. With that said, we're gonna keep this shindig rolling. So, and just to remind everybody, open minds, open list. So if anybody here who hasn't performed yet and would like to, let me know. But with that said, we're going to delve into it. So on deck, we got Torazu 82. But before we introduce this next poet, there's something that we like to do to first-time performers here, if I'm not mistaken. Zoe, this is your first time on Open Minds, Open Mic. Is that correct? Well,
All right, y'all know what to do. I want all of y'all to unmute yourselves and give a big open mind, open heart, open arms welcome to Zoe.
Welcome.
Welcome. We like you. Welcome
Yeah.
home.
Wepa!
Thank
Let's
you.
go.
All right. Thank you guys so very much. This has been an absolutely phenomenal night. I am just like flabbergasted. I love it. I love it. I love it. If it's okay, I actually have two pieces to share. One is very short. Okay, awesome. I'm getting the thumbs up. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna hop on this little wave that China had started us. All right, so this one is called Misty Kisses. In and out of misty kisses, your body drapes me and keeps me warm. Your words lap against my tongue as not to allow me to scorn. Together in this bed, we create storms. Waves of emotions and synchronicities, we create heaven reformed. Your mind has opened me up like when he split the sea. Up between my knees, you reach and yearn for me. My body releases sweet nectar for you to taste, and caress your lips on my skin, please. You can do it in a haste. My neck releases pheromones that are only for you. And when you graze your fingers across my lips, it's always for me to taste you. I walk blindly into the hums and the winds you create for me because I know that once I reach the eye of the storm, it'll be pure ecstasy. Please don't ever stop loving on me. I need your soul for all eternity. Peace. So that was the first one, y'all. This is crazy, y'all. I just started sharing like my art, my crafts like out here. So this is really wild. But y'all inspire me. So all right, so this next piece is called FEAR. Face everything and rise. For so long, she craved excitement, belonging, love, and peace. For so long, she craved attention, affection, deep intellect conception. She craved life. She thought that one day the skies would open up and be bigger and brighter and better than they ever had, much brighter than her past. She had a spirit that was beautiful, untamed, and yet her eyes, they were full of shame. No one ever knew her true pain. No one saw her scars, and the only time they really saw her was when she was at bars, drunk loving, dropping spiritual nuggets to anyone who would listen, a girl with a disposition. They saw masks, the petty little laughs, the sex appeal. No one knew how void she was inside. Her pain, it was so damn real. Covered by all the lies, all the late night, date night, puking out of car windows, fucking guys in the parking lot, choosing to be homeless, manipulating cries for help. For so long, she had tried to follow her passion. She had tried to turn her dreams into action. And for so long, she cried because nothing was happening. She just wanted to die. All alone in her mind, she knew she was a lie, a whole disguise. She knew she wasn't who they thought she was, and all she really needed was someone to sit her down and show her some real love, show her true passion, true strength. Your inner woman doesn't come from being a skank. Your soul doesn't grow by constantly being drowned by the sounds in the clubs or the feeling of numbness when you enter in the drugs. Your mind does not evolve when you consistently break the laws. Your eyes do not shimmer when you pick up that needle and inject that serum that turns off all the noise. And boys, honey, boys, don't take away the anger, the pain, the strain of living. In fact, if you're not careful, they can be the cause. You don't need a boy to take off your bra for you to make you feel better about yourself. For so long, you abused your body. You tormented your mind. You laid on the ground and let yourself become the dust that doesn't rise. You thought so low of yourself that you couldn't even look yourself in the mirror for the fear of seeing exactly who would be looking back at you. She stood up, brushed off. She walked into the mirror and saw her spirit broken, battered, and beaten in every which way, shape, or form, and realized, if not now, then never. The decision was made in that very instance that instead of being a victim, she would become a survivor. Instead of being a statistic, she would become more in witness. Instead of dying, she would choose to live. Instead of crying, she would choose to pray. Instead of slowly killing herself, she would choose to grow. She got uncomfortable and got on her knees and she prayed. She asked for the guidance and it was delivered. And ever since, her smile is brighter, her soul is lighter, her eyes shimmer even when they're not in the sun. Yes, my love, she is a warrior. She no longer hides her scars, her pain, or her masks. She wears all of it out loud and proud as she faced her fears and decided to rise. Peace.
I like that little snap at the end. I like that. Everybody at this time, please give for Zoe at this time.
Welcome
Damn.
home, Zoe. That was
Wow.
amazing. That
Zoe, that
second
was so
piece, I think, is
healing.
integral for any young woman needs to hear that. Like that, like every young
Yes.
woman needs to hear that second piece. Like,
That was so healing. Thank you so
yeah.
much.
And this is the place for pieces like these. And I, for one, appreciate that you found comfort in sharing that here at Open Minds Open Mic. Thank you for doing this. And with that said, we're gonna keep the shindig rolling. Um, before we go on with the rest of the show, just a quick reminder, everybody. Also, quick shout out to China Bloodmire. If you haven't already, check into Go for Blood, Slam 2, Sunday, November 24th. If you would like to participate as a poet going for blood, that'll be a $33.33 entry fee, in which you will have to cash app to China Bloodmire and then screenshot that, then DM that, just to make sure that all is good. And if you want to just spectate, that'll be $5.55. It's all about the numbers, the numerology. And then, like I said, winner takes all. So the more participants, the more spectators, the bigger the pot, and the crazier the show. And I'm excited for that. With that said, we're gonna keep the shindig rolling. We got, from the looks of it, 3 more poets. With that said, on deck we got KEA. But before we introduce this next poet, Torazu, this is your first time in Open Minds Open Mic, correct?
Yes.
All right. We've had so many wonderful new people come in. I'm so excited for tonight. China, and you brought all these wonderful people in, and they're all here for you. And so thank you for bringing them in. But you all know what to do. Unmute yourselves and give a big open mind, open heart, open arms welcome to Tarazu 82.
Yes, we love you. Thank you
Yeah.
for coming.
Welcome.
Yes, girl.
That's okay. So sorry. Good evening, all you beautiful, amazing poets. Um, I'm a little nervous, so please bear with me. This piece is untitled, so for now. Sorry, I never told you all I wanted to say. If I could speak to you, the thoughts that have swirled through my mind, the emotions that have threatened to consume me will finally find their voice. My insecurity and self doubt, I would set aside. I would tell you of the longing that has ached in my heart, a yearning so intense that at times it has threatened to overwhelm me. Like in your presence, I would cast aside the shadows that have so often shrouded my true self. The things I couldn't say before would now pour out unfiltered. The fears that have held me back, the doubts that have clouded my judgment will all be laid bare and stripped of their power to control me. I would speak of the moments when I felt most vulnerable, when my heart has threatened to shatter into a million pieces, and how the mere thought of your hugs has been a saving grace to my wounded soul. With each word, I would uncover the layers of my being, peeling back the protective barriers I put up over the years. The insecurities that have stayed in my ear would be silenced and replaced by honesty. I would share how much I truly loved you, the dreams that I had for us, and how your presence was a light in my darkness. In the moment of my expression, I would lay bare the depths of my heart, allowing you to see the person I truly am, free from the mask I worn for the world. The vulnerability would be liberating as I trust you with the most intimate parts of myself, confident that in your embrace I would find the acceptance and understanding I have so deeply craved. And I would be ready to be cherished and loved by you. I say these things now confidently and with regret because you are no longer here to hold me to every word I have said. So if I was honest and I could speak to you now, I would pour out my heart, sharing the triumphs and the struggles, the joys and the sorrows that have defined my journey since you left me. I would seek your counsel, your wisdom, your unwavering support, the very things that made you an irreplaceable part of my life. In the end, I know that only time and space separate us, and our connection transcends this physical world. You live on in the memories we have shared and in the love that continues to sustain me even in your absence. And though I can't speak to you like before, I will carry on, guided by the light of your spirit, until the day we are reunited once more. My best friend, my teddy bear, I know in my heart you're listening always and forevermore. And that's the piece.
Oh my goodness. Everybody, please unmute and show your love for Torazu 82. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yes,
So, that
that was
was amazing.
Nothing to
Oh,
be nervous about
dude.
at all,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, that
Nothing
first
to
part you started
worry
singing,
about.
like I just melted from the
yes.
like you had me at hello. Like, it was amazing.
Mm.
Thank you so much for coming through and sharing. We really appreciate you. We hope to hear more
Thank
from
you
you.
guys so much. Thank you.
And again, this is something that we do every Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in this very Zoom room. So remember the method how you got in here. Bookmark the link, whatever you got to do. Um, make a thing on your calendar, set a reminder. We try to remind you. Well, at least I do. That said, Tarazu, you're more than welcome to share more down the road. But now we are going down to our final two, unless anybody else wants to participate. Remember, this is open. Not only this is open mic. This is open minds, open mic. This is open minds, open lists. So we don't close
It
the
might
list.
end
We
up
like to
being
make
open
sure.
room too after the recording. We might keep it open and usually on Fridays too we do open minds, open mic, open list. We got open room too. So once the recording stop, we still hang out, share poetry, chat. So
Right on. With that said, we're gonna keep this shindig rolling. On deck is myself, but stepping up to the plate now. Please give it up for KEA. But wait, what's that thing
Hey,
that we do?
KEA is your first time here, right? KEA. I don't know how you pronounce it.
You pronounced that key. You said it right. Thank you.
D,
Thank you.
right? Okay, that's what I figured, right? Hey,
Oh.
y'all know the routine. Everybody unmute yourselves and give a big open mind, open heart, open arm welcome to Key.
Key in the
Yes.
building.
Love you. Welcome.
Yes, come back.
I just wanted to say real quick, I apologize. I should have seen the actual key. I see the dots and it distracted me. I apologize. So with that said, Key, when you are ready, please take it away.
You good? You good? I appreciate it. So you're gonna have to forgive my noisy ass background because I'm gonna be fighting through it. And so this one it's called Lost to Be Found. Behold, I cast you out as sheep amidst the wolves. What? Where am I? Well, you ain't on the west side anymore. What do you mean? I was just on Adams and Keeler playing in front of the house. I looked down the street and saw a man standing at a very far distance. Oh well, that was just a dream. If that was a dream, what is this place? It's what you make it. Just be careful. It can get a little chaotic at times. Okay, thank you. Remember, if you need me, just give me a call and I'll be right on time. Wow, that dream seems so real. I can't remember what I'm meant to do. Hey, are you lost? I'm not sure where I'm meant to go. Did you bump your head? I don't remember. Go to school so you can learn and become smarter. The system is broken. There is no spoon. No one said the awakening will make you lose your mind. Broke the algorithm, cleared out each level of inception as I removed the poison of deception, even the sting of my own limiting beliefs. Found myself waking up upon the shores of my own subconscious. This can't be life. As I work through the astrals, piercing the veil, straddling worlds, flying in my dreams feels realer than reality. Is reality the dream? Shit. Am I lost? I have to find my peace. Like Aang, I sat down and dove inside of me and touched with my soul where I found every lost part of me. Every part reflect your glory. Guess you can say I found the God inside of me. I've been here the whole time. Just be still, you'll be fine. You weren't lost. You just shared all the false things that create illusions, delusions, and confusion, I'd say. Just learn to trust your intuition. It's that part of me that guides you. Yes, my voice spoken inside you. Feel that feeling? The energy's off. Read the room. Follow this guidance. Your vision. That eye that's not seen. You see, you had to lose your mind. Just to find the peace of mind, you have got to trust the signs. Everything will work out fine. Thank you, Janae. I found peace, I must say, that this journey keeps turning like wheels on the pavement. Take time, don't burn out. Embrace the pain. Rage. Ha! Scream therapy is good. Just laugh. Now, you good. You see, you're not lost. You're just finding your way. Okay, I get it. I get it now. It had to be lost to be found. Peace.
Everybody at this time. Please give it up for Key. Yeah.
Yeah, Key. Welcome home, bro.
Always
Oh, I love your delivery, man. That shit was great, man. That was great.
love your name too. I get it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hey, what
Thank
does
you.
the KEA stand for?
Gain elevated awareness.
Bet. Bet. Oh, man. Everybody, one more time. Give it up for Key.
Right
Thank
on.
you. Thank you, guys.
Right on, dude.
Yeah,
I had time for one more. We're going to drop down.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. If you got another one, yeah,
One more?
let's hear it.
Then let's
Let's
do
hear
it.
it.
Take it away when you are ready.
This one, I believe, is yes, this is the Lady Shine prompt. I'm so grateful that I met this beautiful soul. This woman has inspired my creativity and helped me to flow in ways that I haven't had allowed myself to be before. So thank you. And this one is called Wisdom is Key, trusting in my own instincts. Wisdom is to be sought like a buried national treasure. It's the fruit of applied knowledge with tactful application. If you fail forward, then trust me, you see the wisdom in the journey, and wisdom is key. Not making the same mistakes twice, breaking a cycle of hate. Wisdom is gold, and just remember the process. Gold is refined by fire. It is the way trials and tribulations make you stronger. They say when your life heats up, just know you're on the way. When the road is dark, let wisdom lead you home. Even when you're by yourself, know you'll never walk alone. Will, inspiration, spiritual discernment, you see develop there. Perseverance, have you found your key? Life has a way. If you don't know, soon you'll see. One foot in front of the other. March on and keep your head held high. Through the road, though the road can get bumpy. March to your own beat. Each step orchestrated by the one we all seek. Hang on to the world as it spins around. Just don't let the spin get you down. Hold on to wisdom, for wisdom is key. Take it from me. One day, we'll all be free. The moves I've made aren't always understood. Wait, listen, the time isn't right. Go left for now. Sometimes you must learn. Something you must learn is to trust this sound, this voice. Yes, you heard. Yes, you have a choice. The price to pay is too high. Choose wisely. Now it's okay. Turn right. You see, okay? Fine, but you will in due time. Excuse me, guys. This environment is kind of throwing me off. Sometimes you must learn. So something you must learn is to trust the sound, this voice. Yes, you have a choice. The price you pay is too high. Choose wisely. Now it's okay. Turn right. You can see. Okay. Turn right. Can you see? Okay. Fine, but you will in due time. That instinct isn't just to survive. It's to win and to thrive. Now look right. The aftermath is what you avoided down that path. Trusting my own instincts is why I'm still here. As I pause and reflect to release a few tears that I didn't have time to, when the fire roared high, when the floods poured in and I had no choice but to swim. No lifeguards or life preservers in sight, so just keep swimming, float on when you need to. Trust in this guidance. These instincts are keen. Your lone wolf era ends and earn victory. Just trust in those instincts. They come from me. Take your time, take your time. Purge out to receive. Understanding takes time. You can be ahead of that. Wait. Now's the time. Go be great. Just remember. Trust your. Okay, I got it. I get the picture. You are my guidance, my instincts. Don't miss. Perseverance and persistence, discipline, determination, all applied with patience. Thank you for the tools that you gave to me. Use these tools to unlock the door of opportunity. Sabali is a virtue. That was my key. Peace.
Oh, that fucking ending. Yo, everybody, one more time, give it up for Key.
Yeah,
Wepa.
Key.
Wow, Key. Welcome,
Go ahead,
welcome.
Key. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you guys. You guys all have been amazing as well. I'm glad that you guys are allowing me to share. As you see, my throat chakra needs a little refining. It's been a while, so I'm gonna keep showing up. I don't care how loud the environment gets. I'm gonna keep doing what I do.
Speaking of feedback, if you're looking for feedback, come back into the Zoom room tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be having the Slam Jam. It will be another open mic, but we'll also have a slam workshop element. Basically, we'll be simulating a poetry slam experience, aiming for 3 minutes of your original work, but instead of getting scored, you're given feedback. And tomorrow we're going to be having, I can't believe I'm saying this out loud. The co-founder of Russell Simmons' Def Poetry Jam on HBO. We're gonna have Bruce George spin poetry and sharing perspective. And as someone who has helped bring slam poetry more mainstream, in fact, my first exposure to slam poetry was through that show on HBO back in like the mid 2000s. And then fast forward years later, here I am, in cahoots with the dude. It's fucking wild. And it'll be a great time tomorrow. So yeah, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, this Zoom room. And with that said, there's one more performer left, and at this time, get up for me.
Yeah,
So,
Dre.
Everybody, yeah, give it up for the host
Woo!
tonight. Ray
Kick
Reyes.
assholes.
All
We love
right.
you.
We love
Woo!
you, brother.
Yeah, Dre.
I'm excited to hear what he's got for us. He's got so much range, man. I've heard all types of poetry come from. I'm every time he goes on, I'm like, what's it gonna be now?
Come on, man.
well,
Inspire us.
oh geez. Okay, I got. What's this? Who's
Oh, we
joining the
got
room
we
now?
got a new person joining here.
Okay, maybe there might be one more poet. Who knows?
Oh, sweet.
But let me just see what we got going on here. So I got two pieces, two slightly older pieces, trying to like stray away from it political because I've been like going ham on that. Just want to give that a little bit of a rest. So with that said, there's some people here in this Zoom room who've never really experienced my poetry. So let's have some fun with some range. So let's start with some funny shit, some hungry shit because food is great, and this is the poem that pretty much uh got me in, if you want to say. So this is Ode to Crab Rangoon. Oh, Crab Rangoon, you fill me up with fulfillment when you're filling face plants onto a field of my taste buds. Every time I have you inside oral cavern, I cannot help but want to crush you with my stalagmite teeth and swallow you into my abyss while I enjoy feeling you disintegrate slowly under my pressure as you slide all the way down to the pit of my being. Oh, Crab Rangoon, you perfectly highly addictive yet perfectly legal drug. And yes, I said drug. Have you ever eaten one and not feel dopamine and serotonin flood through every mini vessel in your being with the utmost sense of culinary nirvana? You are the Asian equivalents to Pringles. Once you pop, you can't stop. Oh, in life, there should be only two universal defining periods life before and after accepting Crab Rangoon as your Lord, Savior, and demigod. Oh, Crab Rangoon, you miracle of life, you! If you were made in your original pure form, the pharmaceutical industry would cease to exist. I would be out of a job because you cure all. I'll never forget the time I had that stomach ache, and you, with your seductive, crunchy exterior and your cheesy, creamy, crabby holiness. Oh, Crab Rangoon, you are the body of Christ. Your healing powers influence me to start an underground street fighting club called Crab Rangoon Club. And let me tell you, the first rule of Crab Rangoon Club is that we definitely talk about Crab Rangoon Club. Oh, Crab Rangoon, the joy and despair of all how they rewrote the history books on you. Oh, Crab Rangoon, every 80s power ballad and 70s adult film was inspired by you in some weird way by your rich, sexual white chocolate. Oh, Crab Rangoon, I am a goon for you. Always have and always will. Peace. So there's that. That's piece number 1. Hi. So now this other piece, kind of like steer things up a bit, also give a little bit of a backstory. Yeah, white chocolate. Yep. Um, this next piece. It's like a mishmash of Okay, so let me give more of a better backstory. So I'm a wrestling dude. I have wrestled for 12 years. I have watched wrestling for like the better part of like 2 decades. And there was this one dude who inspired me in a way to get back into poetry. Ironically, he was a wrestler by the name of Bray Wyatt. Real name Wyndham Rotunda. Sadly passed away last year unexpectedly, but his way of being able to implement some horror, mystery into wrestling and poetry, because the way he would construct his verses were like anything were like anything that nothing like I've ever seen or heard since or before. So with that said, here's a little inspirational piece called Follow the Buzzards, and it's just a mishmash of promos that he said. Mankind has struggled to answer one simple question: where do we go when we die? A man of science will have you believe that we just become one with the earth, nothing more. And a man of faith will view things with a much different perspective. But what about those like you and I? We're special. For us, there is no death. We live forever in our art. This is sanctuary, the stage, this microphone, this fleeting finite moment in time. Here we will manifest all the power we will ever need to thrive in this dark world, to make passage towards our own salvation. Today, we stand together as conquerors, as revolutionaries, as beings of 1,000 truths, as survivors who have slumbered in flames and laughed in the face of fear. We have found our way through the darkness and into the light with nothing but limitless might. We are the color red in this world of black and white. Society has placed labels on us, for it is only human nature to put labels on things you do not understand. Labels, insults, numbers, ways to objectify the unknown, the unfamiliar, and the unwanted. We may have been labeled many things: unconventional, strange, misunderstood, outsider. Understand this though, friends. Labels are nothing more than penniless words if you do not surrender any strength to them. And we will never surrender. Now I urge all you to drink in this moment, man. Drink it in like hot coffee and wake up and see this lie you're living in, man. Everything you think you know about your own lives is based upon lies. All of you who wake up every morning, look at yourself in the mirror and coat makeup all over your beautiful faces because you don't even realize that you are just wearing the mask that society demands you to wear. It's a bottomless pit of lies. These false prophets plaster your hopes and dreams on a billboard. However, the days of the false prophets are over. I promise you today. I promise you tomorrow. I promise you up until my final breath that with the swords of our tongues, we will slay this mighty dragon and we will stand over his body and we will whisper into his ear, it is time to end this lie. When you die, come find us. We will never be too hard to find. Just look up to the sky and follow the buzzards home.
Ooh boy, everybody, unmute yourselves. Give it up for tonight's host, Ray.
Dre, oh my god.
Dre.
Look at characters.
That
Awesome.
rain, bro. Yeah, if you guys are hearing Dre for the first time, yeah, there goes a little taste of that rain.
I see that we have a couple of people who just joined in. Let me just take a breather here.
Yeah,
That was
catch it back
theatrical
to
as fuck.
Yeah. But yeah, so
So
Sapphire and Frog showed up. If you guys want to read, let us know before we close the show.
Yes. As of yes, thank you, Frog. Thank you for
Good
sharing
about
that.
Sapphire.
Oh my God, there's so many. Okay, cool. Okay, so Sapphire is new, but just watching tonight. All right. Frog, would you like to close out tonight's open mic?
Yeah, sure, when?
Right now.
At this time, everybody unmute and give it up for Frog Corpse at this time. Unmute and take it away.
Into the darkness, there's always been a frozen conscience. Empty as that promise. Even deeper was want, fighting to prove the point of looking into the mirror, seeing your face, witness the December, that same frost folding over, running a tight shipwreck, spilling over, a blizzard of conscience, moving through the barren conscience. I found thee, hidden beyond the world of shadowed trappings, crow's feet, resting on a jaded cunt. I want to know what it's like when you're all alone. Do you love yourself or place value on the things that you can only hold? So vindictive and varicose, with your selfishness set in stone. The feet of the crow, one perched on your eyes, calling and no worth with those jaded eyes. Owned? Do you still sing? Flying away on the wings of your vanity, affluent in confession, conceited and contesting, overpriced admission for your pompatic show. And this is what the dreams should admonish. Pecking clouds drum, raining on my epitaph. Sheets of slate roll the etching's path. I drown the sun as if it ever swam. A sunless vision of what the mire demands. Dominion holds a stone, a sleeper's shape put to chest. Witness worlds gone to places where we've never been. I wanted peace to roam, so I sought out an happy end. This river flows now, at least that's what she said. The deeper the words are found, take with them the rocky bits. A souvenir of bronze, mountain's birth, the forms from sentence. When I remain inside, alone, I lose my senses. When the waters dry subside, I move the roots of Elysium. In one question unknown, I scry, although the answer's missing. Although I seek to grow, yet had I ever lived? Finally, at a loss for words, for that love of loves that is more than love, now deceased under winter shrub. where my dreams had weathered on. My dear, I swoon at the sight of those distant eyes, treading thought over the oceans of possibility. Plushed lips painted with secrets speak to me in braille so I can feel them. Threaded fingers running between heart and hands with footsteps, we unravel their enigmatic talk, blinking in Morse code in hopes that we could save ourselves from the sinking of our woes. Your words soothe a burning within. The eye stares caress my ears, and if home was found in each heartstring, I would pluck its sound from your voice, making a home inside of you. For if tomorrow would cease to be, then today I would want all of you. Oh, raven-haired beauty, lying in lavender rose, rolling in sheets of warmth, laughing with a smile that I had never known, yet for one moment I thought I could feel you. Heart on the block, beating lips, I stop. Maybe, just maybe, you fell into the right inbox. Conferring letters, our poetry tethered is typing, the ellipses pounding, fucking the vowels from your mouth, making your consonants constant now. Starting, stopping, typing, pausing now, calling. Breath stressed. Buttons double pressed, chest skipping beats, 2 seconds rolling. Whoa, oh shit, it's green. Hey, baby. I dream these incorrigible debts that are stripped with a breath, chained in a house where no movement could leave. And it's tragic. Eyes met with static, bearing down on weakened knees. I propped that ass on centerpiece and unleashed my confessions. Lips crushed by your wetness, drinking serenades to the blinking from your face. I pause. Bent fingers trace your walls, built with skin and a moving pulse. A memory remained, of course, where urges could not abort. So it was fun while it lasted. But I chased magic, a simple night made of moans. I wasn't enough, of course. You had another. So I signed off and wondered that the kiss that you gave me then was the one that I threw in the bin. It wasn't needed. You said it was all I would get. I didn't need a parting gift, and this is not the time for regrets. So why am I in your kitchen still hearing this? And one last one. She said, "Give me your best line." I don't have any lines. Do I look like I'm fishing? I just know how to use my tongue to leave fingerprints on your body. The starting, the stopping, the panties that were dropping. I drink the taste to remember the place where I could skip a heart. Fingers in the ridges, topographic to your dimensions. I ascend the mountain tops to fill my cup with the drops, lakeside in the garden nectar. Face down in the mattress, tethered, pulsing, pounding, groaning, the rounding, following the path with the blink, in the meadow, touching pinks, creasing these sheets and petals, brindle biting leather. First the eyes blush, then pale thighs gush, a roaring river untamed, lapping the breathless shakes. Should I stop or open the dam till your fingers get caught? Keep going, she said, muted at the pause, ebbing the water log, supple pulse pounding, moaning, then drowning, face deep in the gaping maw. Oh, you're good, she stared. Ulterior motives hold us. The votive and the lotus, moving, bending bark would harden you and rock the push button. The breathless wanton endangerment to the skin where the friction setting in, this touch. She said, oh my fuck. Keep grinding like a 9 to 5 slip and slide while the wave pool's overflowing. She staunched, raining linens out from the hound that chased the fox. A gold star stud burning at the rub, eating that ass for lunch. Oh, you're done? She said. If you want it deeper, you'll need a sleeper. Getting tucked in while your face gets fucked in, you'll need to cough just to catch a breath so you can regain a thought. A king creeper, the closet keeper, fishing out the nets while tearing clothing sets, just scream, scratching at the seams, making gains to be the beast, creasing pillows, love the mess, sweet dreams. She said no, but her body said yes. Bound by the rope and the Itachi she missed, she grunted on hard and begged the master to stop and thought up a safe word and never said it at all. Are you into that? She asked. Not my bag, but I've been to some dungeons. They all bored me because none of them could come, and I started thinking while I was listening, you really want to know what I like? It's deep throat and fisting. Maybe I should stop. I had you pegged more for S&M. Fuck you, bitch. I bought the kid on H&M. Toast.
Bruh, look. Hey.
And that's how it's done. And that's how it's fucking done. Everybody, please unmute. Get Frog Corpse at this time.
Fucking.
You done broke the whole room with that one. That was
And he
awesome.
said a last minute just pop in like fucking Johnson some dope shit. And, yo, and
I'm
it fit the
laid
mood of
the
the room
fuck
for the whole
out.
night. Like it was like that was the perfect ending to
Yup.
tonight. China, I want to hear what you have to think about that. What Frog Corpse said just now. Like,
I'm pleasantly surprised is what I will say because the like I feel like I did something tonight by accident. I apologize in advance. I ain't mean to have
and you made us
everybody
all doper.
It's a
say
full
right.
moon. It's a full moon.
It's a
Everybody's
full moon. We
horny.
wilding out, right?
Just
Hey,
being nasty.
like Mr. Wiz, can the moon seen your ass? Has the moon seen your ass?
Tonight, 12 times. I'll tell you right now, 12 times. It was a
Hey.
whole
And on that note, everybody, please wrap it up. Please play it safe. Unless you like it raw. Like old dirty
Oh,
bastard.
baby.
In that case, hey,
I like it,
just be,
bro.
but see, but be, just pull out, Anyway,
Hey, China, thanks
I
so
just want
much
to
for the
say,
teaching.
from the bottom of my heart, thank you everybody. In the Zoom room right now, everybody who was in earlier but had to bounce out probably because of that Mike Tyson fight. With that said, I just want to give a huge shout out to everybody here. I like to have this saying that it takes a lot to make a stew, and everybody here had some fun ingredients, and we had ourselves a nice spicy gumbo that we all can wholesomely enjoy together. And this shit would not be possible without viewers and participants like you. So we thank you. Thank you for making the community that it is. Thank you for participants both new and old. We will love to be able to see the new faces again soon. And again, y'all are family. Again, check us out on Instagram at Open Minds Open Mic and at the One Slam Jam for your daily updates of what's happening on Open Minds Open Mic in this Zoom room, because we got shit happening almost every day, it seems. But we're trying to slow down a bit, trying to reconstruct some things. But again, we'll be here
2025 is gonna be lit.
again. Tomorrow we'll be having the Slam Jam, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, open mic and slam workshop, and we're gonna be having Bruce George, the co-founder of HBO's Deaf Poetry Jam. it'll be a really cool time to bond with one of the dudes that helps bring slam poetry in the forefront into a more mainstream way. With that said, thank you all again. Until next time, everybody, please keep writing. Please keep loving. Peace and love to y'all. And have a great night.
We love y'all.